work here. So it is Keithstone-Greaves, the bowler. One slip, cover, an extra cover, mid wicket. As we are waiting for the first ball to be bowled, wicketkeeper is standing with his hands behind his back. A beautiful day for cricket indeed, and I mean a beautiful day indeed. So they are doing the loosening up and just waiting to settle down so that the senior groundsman can walk away from the playing area. So it will be Alkins, who will be bowling to long field, one slip, solitary slip, a very deep gully, a cover, an extra cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and a man deep on. Here's the first ball as he bowls, and he flashes, and there is no run. That was the first ball here. Beautiful ball. He tried cutting it, and there is no run. And on the third man boundary, very deep on the third man boundary. As Keithstone-Greaves ball into long field, one slip, very deep ball indeed, cover, extra cover, and here he is now, Keithstone in, he bowls to long field, and that's signal wide by umpire, and here is the first run by the way of extras wide. So the Spartans are up via one wide. There's a lot of pace in this wicket this morning as Keithstone-Greaves up to his mark once more, and he will pass umpire Liddy bowling to Longfield. Here he is now, and that ball was left alone, which swung back. They are very good delivery indeed, and there is no run. One without loss. That's the first over here out of 20. Beautiful day for cricket. Just a few patches of cloud here and there. As Charles runs away now. And here he is now, bowls to Longfield. And that swung around, and beautiful shot indeed into the boundary for 4 runs. A lovely shot indeed. He just came around and dispatched it to the boundary. And the score moves on to 5 for no loss. Let me say good morning to Doc here. Good morning, Doc.
Yes, good morning. That was a very good shot to greet me into the building. Just tucking it behind square. That's a lovely shot for 4. Longfield, there's a change in the batting order. There's no Kenroy David opening today, the skipper. So Longfield, the wicketkeeper batter, he's come up the order. And it's interesting to see how he will go batting in a new position for him.
5 without loss. So you take on here.
It's Keithstone-Greaves, the right medium pacer. Coming from this Central Polyclinic end. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Longville. To this delivery, Longville is back and pushing back down the track for no run. It's Longville and Keithstone-Greaves doing the opening. Keithstone-Greaves with a very well played 63 yesterday. He will look to continue his fine form in this encounter.
first over.
Longville is 4. Charles is still yet to score, I believe. The score is 5. Keyshawn Charles into ball to Longville. He's whipping this one away. This one down toward the square leg region. Doesn't get too much of it. It will be pulled back by the mid-wicket fielder. But Longville does come across and they pick up 2 runs. Score moves on by a couple to 7. As Longville is looking in fine form. Very interesting field, very, very interesting field by the foreign stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7-2 field. As here comes Keyshawn Charles, the ball to Longville. It's outside of the off stump. He's flashing at it. It's called and signaled wide by umpire Liddy. Very offside heavy field. Keyshawn Charles has to get his line right. He's straight down the leg a couple times. He's going for a couple of runs on those occasions. It's a mid-off, extra cover, point, and a third man, as well as a slip, all on the offside. Just a mid-on, mid-wicket on the leg as Keyshawn Charles comes over the wicket. This one wraps him on the pads, but too high. And the umpire is unmoved. That's going to be the end of over number 1. Decent over, decent start for the GA Spartans. At the end of 1, they are 8 without loss.
Yes, it's a beautiful, healthy score in here in the first over, 8 without loss. We saw some good scoring shots here by the Spartans out of St. Martin. Beautiful day for cricket indeed.
Well, Sam boy, I don't know if you saw the score, but when I left the house, India are batting again. West Indies got rolled over within a half hour. They ended day 3, 229 to 5. I turned on the game at 10:30 this morning when I came out of the shower. They were 255 all out.
You see, while I was downstairs, one of the St. Martin players tell me, West Indies is out. I said, I can't believe it. What a shame.
They were looking so good yesterday. Did all the hard work yesterday. And they came in today and threw it all away. 255 all out. From 229 for 5. If that isn't West Indies, I don't know what the West Indies are. It's going to be Dion Burton taking up the attack from the commentary box end. Burton, the right arm off spinner. He's had a good tournament thus far. Very economical tournament. This field is a bit more normal. It's a man deep and long off. Well, that's the only man out of the ring for him right now. Everyone else very content in the circle. Slip in play still. Burton to the left-handed Charles. First ball driven past the man that showed extra cover. It will be just a single as Cyril will come across into the fielding there at long off. Charles has his first run. Score moves on to 9. As it brings the wicketkeeper batter in Longville back to strike. So skipper Kenroy David, he's batting down the order today. Looking to do the role. We've seen him do a couple times, come in and play the finisher role. Score some runs quickly late down the order. And let your stroke players come in a bit earlier. It's going to be Burton. Right arm over to bowl to Longville. It's whipped away very elegantly, but straight to short mid wicket. There'll be no run. The 2 deep men for the right-handed Longville. The deep mid wicket and the deep long on. But still just 3 on the onside. No one behind square. And Longville will take advantage of that because he's sweeping this one down toward the deep backward square region. It will run down the hill and go into the boundary for 4. There's no one behind square. And Longville, he's very good on the sweep. Decided to go down to his knee and put it away for 4.
Yes, it was a beautiful shot indeed. He just got inside the line and dispatch it. It was a very long chase, but all in vain. 4 runs was written all over it from the time it left the bat.
Yes, indeed. And now they've made the switch. A slip comes out. He goes to a backward square, short backward square region. As it's Burton into bowl to Longville, who's forced back, but he pushes it into the onside and gets a single down to long on. Longville quickly up to 11, the score up to 14 in the course of over number 2. As the field switches over to the left-handed Akeem Charles. The slip comes back into play. It's a very heavy offside field. Still a 7-2 field. You see this in Test cricket. Not often in one day or T20 internationals, but here comes Dion Burton into bowl. Akeem Charles, who's back and pulling with some vigor and some ferocity. That's 4 runs.
Yes, it was a beautiful shot indeed. He just laid back and pulled it around the corner from that 7-2 field, and from the time it left the bat, it was 4 runs written all over its face. Beautiful shot indeed.
I don't like the field at all. I don't like the field by the Foreign Stars. Just 2 men on the lake side, and Burton's line has not been good. It's been taken advantage of by both the right-hander and left-hander now. It's Burton into bowl to Charles. Charles going for a big hee-ho. This time made no contact. That's the end of the over. Expensive over by Dion Burton. 10 off it. It's 18 without loss after 2.
Yes, St. Martin is Spartans is motoring very quickly. 2 overs, 18, 9 runs per over. The Foreign Stars have to pull that back very quickly, or else they'll be chasing a total of about 180 to about 200 if they continue in that vein.
Have to get the lines right. Your lines have not been good. It's a very offside heavy field. You have to bowl outside and under the off stump. The slip now comes out. He's going to a square leg region. But I think he should be outside the circle, not in the circle. You want him at deep square or deep backward square. It's going to be Longville on strike. Keithstone Charles continue from the Central Polyclinic end. Right arm over the wicket. His medium pace. The ball to Longville. Longville is driving, looking very good. But straight to mid-off for no runner. Just the deep third man out of the ring right now. I think at short square should be a bit more behind square as well as on the boundary. Protecting anything that may be down the leg side. As here comes Keithstone Charles. Alright, I'm over to bowl to Longville. Longville is forward, pushing defensively and getting a single into the mid-wicket region. Longville up to 12, and the left-hander Akeem Charles takes his guard now. So he wants a leg stump guard, wants to access the offside. Will Keithstone Charles maintain his line over the wicket? If he's going to bowl over the wicket, you may want to slip in place because he's pushing the ball across the left-hander. You may want to pull the man maybe from cover, try to entice the drive and put him at slip. Let's Keithstone Charles right arm over to left-handed Akeem Charles. Charles is forward pushing. There's no run there. The ball sits straight to a short cover. Dion Williams, the keeper today, is doing the keeping job all season for the Foreign Stars. Allowed Dion Burton to bowl. They're both able to bowl as well. As here comes Charles, the ball to Akeem Charles. Drives this one. Ooh, that's an absolutely classy stroke. Straight as an arrow down the ground. That's 4 runs to Akeem Charles.
Yes, it was a beautiful straight drive here. It went all along the ground and into the boundary for 4 runs. Beautifully played by Akeem Charles here. Wonderful stroke indeed.
Score moves to 23. Akeem Charles is 9. This is a very good opening partnership. 23 in the course of over number 3. Longville 12, Akeem Charles 9. And Akeem Charles is in some very, very good form. It's Keithstone Charles into ball to Akeem Charles to this delivery. Charles is whipping it through mid-wicket. That's down the hill. And he's timed it well enough. It's going to be 4 more.
Yes, he just came inside the line and played it very well along the ground. Beautiful stroke indeed into the boundary for 4 runs.
Well, Akeem Charles is in a mood and he's playing some very good looking shots. He whipped that one away off his pads. And he found the gap as well. Akeem Charles and Rondell Longville, they are in a very good mood to play their shots in this power play. It's 27 in the course of over number 3. They need to break this partnership quickly or it can get out of hand. It's going to be Keithstone Charles into ball to Akeem Charles. That one outside of the off stump. Forced him to extend the arms. Didn't make contact. That's the end of 3. At the end of 3, it's 27 for no loss.
Yes, it's beautiful going here from the Spartans from St. Martin. They are scoring quite healthy here. The wicket is very good for batting. There are no devils in this wicket. It is a beautiful day for cricket.
It is indeed a very good batting wicket. And I think the captain, Ashley White, he may be better advised to bring himself on from the Central Polyclinic end rather than Keithstone Charles, because he can bowl spin or he can bowl pace and take pace off the ball. And pace on the ball has not been working at all thus far, with Charles going for 17 off his 2 overs.
Yeah, or even Wasim Mentos.
Yeah, what Wasim Mentos is back. Yes, indeed. They do have Wasim Mentos there who can bowl some very good off spin. It's going to be Burton trying to sweep this one was Longville. It's down the leg side. Who will be called and signaled a wide by the umpire. Scores on by 1 to 28 as it's going to be Dion Burton again. Longville turning it into the onside. They want a quick single. They'll take the quick single. They're not just hitting boundaries. They're taking singles well. They're taking a longer score and keeping the fielders moving because it's a right-hand, left-hand combination. They're keeping the fielders rotating from side to side. All those little things in cricket. Right hand, left hand combinations are all very, very crucial. Just one man back to Akeem Charles. He has the entire leg side to access and can go over the offside as well. It's Burton to bowl to Charles. Charles goes over the offside. That's an absolutely wonderful shot. That's 4 more runs. You can't afford to have just one man out of the circle in the power play. You need the 2 men out because Charles has the entire offside to access and the entire leg side to access.
Yes, he played that stroke inside out.
And went over cover and it was into the boundary in a flash for 4 runs. Beautiful stroke indeed.
Charles has passed along. He's on to 17. Now he's going to put the man on the deep cover boundary. It's very reactive by Captain White rather than proactive. You can't react to the shot. Because he can change the shot if he wants to. It's going to be into both Akeem Charles. Much better delivery. Took the pace off. Here comes Burton again to bowl to Charles. It's better, lot better by Dion Burton. He's taking the pace right off the ball. It's doing his team a whole lot of favors. Burton again to bowl to Charles. Pace off again. This time Charles dabs it into the offside. And they will get the single. That's the end of over number 4. Charles is 18, Longville 13. It is a 34 for no loss.
Yes, it's very good, easy going here by the Spartans. They're picking the boundaries and hitting some very good fours indeed here. I would rather that he put on spinners because there is Shiv Benjamin. Slow bowlers was meant
Himself,
to the
White Wood. But it's a very good wicket for batting today.
Going to be a change. It looks like it's going to be Shiv. Shiv Benjamin's going to take up the attack from Central Polyclinic again. Left arm pacer. Has the ability to take the pace off the ball and move it both ways, really. On the leg side. He's a bit offside heavy field.
Instead, you're pushing the ball into the leg stump, and he just helped it. And he's very good, as you said, Doc, with the sweep and the pull. He's a short wicketkeeper bat, and he plays that stroke very well indeed. So again, I don't see the sense in going around the wicket. Should have continued over the wicket, the traditional left-arm style.
The foreign stars are going to have a very long day unless they can get their field setting right. I find the fields are very, very reactive as well.
Yes, just moving players all about after a shot is played. Something is not right for the foreign stars today. I haven't seen them this ragged in terms of their field placements.
Looking for the skipper. Maybe on the boundary. As it's Shiv. That's a much better line, but it's pushed down toward the long off boundary. Well, Longville will pick up a single. Longville up to 26, Charles 23. It's 53.
And that is very good going in over number 7.
Very good going indeed. 53. For no loss as well. 50 partnership is up. 50 partnership has been raised between these two opening bats. Shifting field for the left-handed Akeem Charles, a dangerous Akeem Charles. It shifts the ball to Charles. Charles heaving this one down toward the extra cover region. Man coming in from long off, will do the fielding, but Akeem Charles will pick up 2. .55, the score has moved to 55 for no loss. As Shiv will come again. Left arm over to bowl to Charles, and Charles is forward, pushing straight to short, extra cover. Not picking up a run.
That's more like Shiv Benjamin. That one was held back a bit.
It's Benjamin into bowler to Charles. Charles down the track and driving straight back to the bowler. He will not get a run.
Much better bowling. Saw him coming and just pulled it down a little faster. So the batsman advancing, finding the ball was not there to be driven. Just had to come down and play the check shot.
It's a clever bowler, Shiv Benjamin. Left arm over again to bowl to Charles. It's slower. Charles is tugging this one into the leg side. The man at the long on boundary will do the fielding. And Longville is coming back for a second. He forced Charles to get back as well. Charles again surpasses Longville. He's on to 27. Longville is 26. 10 off, that's over. It is 57 for no loss.
Yes, great going here by the GS Spartans of St. Martin, really pushing their scoring on. And if they continue in this particular vein with their openers batting so well, we could look at total, Brian, of well over 150, 160, perhaps even up to 180 going at this particular striking rate.
Yes, indeed. At 57 right now. It's going to be Wazim Mentos.
This is going to be interesting. Mentos, we know he's a very, very good bowler. Has sub-regional cricket experience. Has played in the sub-region. And is a very, very accurate, very tidy, very mean bowler. Good variation. Good use of the crease. And he's been out for this season. This is the first time we're seeing him this season. Season number 3. But Mentos, we know he can bowl. He's a very, very clever, wily left-arm spin bowler.
The Beamers last year in tandem with Yannick Leonard caused some serious problems. It was left hand over from one end, left arm over from the other end. It caused some serious issues. This was 2 seasons ago rather than last season.
Yes,
this was
correct.
2 seasons ago.
Absolutely correct.
It's going to be Wazim Mentos. Bowling left arm round the wicket to the right-handed Longville. There's no one behind square. Don't advise it at all. It's short and cut straight to the offside. There's no run on offer.
And one of the things you won't be seeing too many drives. You may see some cuts, but you won't be seeing too many drives. He's going to toss it, just give it enough, and he bowls that off-stump line consistently.
We've put a man on deep backward square boundary now. That's a much better field placement. It's cut away straight to short, extra for no run.
Yes, I think this is a pretty good field.
It's a much better field. It's Mentos. The ball is driven down the ground by Longville, out of reach of Mentos. Just a chip shot. It will be a single.
Level pegging again, 27-27.
Yes, indeed, they're mimicking each other. And he'll be bowling left arm over to the left-handed Akeem Charles. Need to get the field right because
This has to be right, yes.
now they've done it. They've moved the man a lot straighter over at the mid-wicket region. It's a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, and a long on in place. As Akeem Charles is back and cutting rather powerfully through cover, and I think that may be four.
That is four.
It is going to be four.
It is
Burton
going to be
stepped over the boundary rope when he put the ball back in play.
Yes.
It's 4 runs for Akeem Charles.
Yes, Burton committed one of the cardinal sins there. Running across quickly, it was struck very powerfully, almost equidistant between the wide long off and the sweep on the deep cover boundary, who had some running to do his left. Burton had to go to his right, and Burton, in trying to flick the ball back, had just made that error of holding onto the ball before he had gotten it back into play. So that's 4 runs.
Mentos the ball to Charles. Charles down the ground. It's gone high. It's not going to go all the way. And Rykel Cyril takes the catch. Wasn't Mentos has the breakthrough. Akeem Charles goes for 31. It's 62 for 1.
Yes, the breakthrough has finally come. Mentos, again, as we've indicated to you, a very wily bowler. Here was Akeem Charles, was batted well with Randy Langville, looking to go over the wide long on area. Again, the skill of Mentos, and this shows he's a thinking bowler, carrying that ball up but holding it back, not really pushing it through as he normally would have done on other occasions, but just held it back for just that split second. The batter in Charles advancing, not getting to the pitch, but depending there and trying to rely on his strength. But strength was not enough. He got under the ball, too much under it, and just skied it out to a wide long on where the catch was very, very, very nicely taken. So Charles goes for 31, cheering in an opening stand of 62 with his partner Randy Langville, who remains there on 27. So a good breakthrough here for the foreign stars at this juncture of the game.
I think maybe Akeem Saunders, who has come to the middle now.
Yes, Akeem.
It's going to be Akeem Saunders. Very talented bat. Very, very talented bats. But
yeah, one I like to see very much. You know how I feel about him. I just think he's one of the finest young talents we've got around these parts, and it's just a pity he has not gone on further. But looking at Kirk McKenzie, looking at Alec Atanase, as we're hearing now, Atanaz as opposed to Atanase, as we've been accustomed to it. But he certainly would fit into that mold for me as well. This Akeem Saunders, very, very excellent player.
he made the Leeward Islands side a few times. Made it a few years ago. He was out for a while. He made it again very recently. Scoring some very good runs in the 4-day competition between the islands. I think he was playing for St. Kitts, but it's going to be Mentos the ball to Akeem Saunders. Saunders is back and pushing down to long on for a single.
And you can just look at him, Brian. You just look at Akeem. Look at his stance. Look at the way he lifts the bat. Look at the way he organizes himself. You know, he's so correct, so orthodox in his stroke play. I just love to watch him. Technique is good, plays equally at ease on both sides of the wicket.
Everything about Akeem Saunders screams a left-handed wicket-keeper batter, but he's a right-handed batter who bowls off spin.
And everything is done with so much time. He plays the ball so late. It reminds me a lot of Brian Lara, for example. There's another player I'm trying to think about who plays the ball very Manos Labuschagne, plays it that well. They have sufficient time in which to go into the position and almost wait and then play the stroke. Unlike other guys you see just getting into, just hustling into. These guys have so much time. They pick up the line and the length so early, you know, and this is one of the features, for me at least, when it comes to Akeem Saunders. I just think he's an excellent player.
It's going to be Shiv Benjamin who will be bowling at left arm around to Akeem Saunders, who's surveying the field, just wearing one of those floppy hats. A nice broad hat, no helmet needed for Shiv. Benjamin from the Central Polyclinic end to bowl to Saunders, who drives it back down the ground. There'll be no run as Shiv got a hand to it. Deep cover, long off, long on, deep mid wicket. The foreman out of the ring right now. Shiv, ball to Saunders, who's playing this one inside out. There's a man at long off who will do the fielding. That's a very good looking shot by Saunders for a single.
Yeah, nicely, just dancing down nicely and picking his spot. Notice the man at wide long off was wide, and then he just saw all that acreage to the left of him and placed it there.
Longville, almost beaten there. Yeah, he can't play Shiv too early. He has the pace of a spinner.
I just think Shiv looks more like a medium pacer today than a spinner. Certainly is, and especially bowling around the wicket.
Yes, indeed. He's gotten the line right now. It's Benjamin into ball to Longville. Longville back and maybe a cut or a push down to log off.
Well, in fact, I think he's bowling slow medium, you know. I don't think he's spinning anymore. I think he's bowling slow left arm.
Left arm slow bowling with a run-up. He's bowling at a spinner's length, bowling at a spinner's pace, but not turning the ball. Here comes Shiv. The ball to Saunders. Saunders is back and pushing back down the ground for no run. Not too much foot movement required there by Akeem Saunders. Just stand and push it back.
Yeah, but look at the way he moves. Look at how easy, almost languidly, gets in behind the ball. Everything looks compact and in line.
As Shiv bowls and Saunders drives back down the ground. Man at long on does the field. I think it's a Captain White down there. That's going to be a single. That's going to be the over. Another very tight over by Shiv. Just 3 off it. It's 66 for 1 after 9.
66, so we're almost just one short of the halfway mark. And we are seeing the Spartans here just trying to continue the pattern they've started. They got off to a flying start. The openers getting to a half century before Charles went off the bowling of Mentos in his very first over. Of course, had divided long on for 31. With that, the introduction of Akeem Saunders, partner in the Manville, and just looking to push things on here. So the Spartans still batting quite well. 66 runs, 65 runs scored, or just 66 runs scored for the loss of Charles's wicket. So they're doing quite well. As we're about to see the start of the 10th over, and it'll be bowled by Mentos.
Mentos to continue. It's going to be Wazim Mentos to continue. Mentos fights this one up. Longville Saunders pushes it back. It will be no run. Thank the Lord. There is rain in Trinidad.
Rain in Trinidad, rain in Manchester, Old Trafford.
Mentos the ball to Saunders, who's down the ground and tucking it away neatly down toward long on for a single.
It's a joy to see good batsmanship, to see good cricket. But when you see a young batter who has all the basics correct, it's a joy, at least for me, to look at.
Oh, that one there was pitched up. It beat everything. Somehow it beat the bat, the stump, the wicket keeper, the pads, everything. It went down to a third man.
And it's given us a run.
It's given us a inside edge.
Yes. Run, but well bowled by Mentos. This is the wiliness of this man. Good variation. Coming down there was Langville advancing. Couldn't get there in time. Ball just dipped on him suddenly, and he was trying to just keep it out of his stumps. Eventually got an edge, went past the keeper and went down to find third man for a single.
This one's shorter, and Saunders is trying to drive. That was a shot at the stumps there because Longville got a bit too far down. Just got back home in time. Well, India, they were playing T20 cricket. After 12, they were 98 for 1. They're trying to get the West Indies back in and back in early.
I tell you.
It's going to be a dot ball there. Thank God for the rain.
Yep.
98 for 1 for India after 12 overs, and they've taken lunch now. So I guess the West Indies will have five sessions to bat.
Yep.
That's rather impossible. Oh, that one's just through the hands of Wazim Mentos. Almost ate up Cyril as well. That was driven with some power.
Yes.
There by Akeem Saunders.
That came back there ferociously, and Mentos, a big man, pushed his hand up, trying to make a catch of it, but almost took his head to the boundary along with that shot. But 10 overs completed, 69 runs.
Yes.
Scored for the loss of Charles, going for 31. So the players getting a much needed break at this time, and we can just look back to the start of this game, the Spartans, GA Spartans against the Foreign Stars, as we continue season 3 of the APL here in Anguilla. But the Spartans off, as I said, to a very, very good start. Needless we talk anything about the pitch, it's the same, placid, hard, firm, good for batting. If you can bowl, you can get something from it, as I've often said. And they got off to a half-century start with their openers, and now we see Akeem Saunders is out there with Randall Langville, who has batted very well, has played a number of delightful sweep shots, played some wonderful strokes through the offside field as well, but particularly strong on the pull and the sweep. Wicketkeeper batsman, and most wicketkeeper batters that I have known, they like the sweep shot, has been one of their favorites, and they're batting very well. The Spartans are in a good position here, given the start that they've had, to eventually go on to a very fine total. They still have quite a bit of batting to come. Damian Williams, Durham, Balazar,
Captain as well.
Captain is
David.
Kenroy David. So some good batting still to come, and they will certainly want to get, as I said, over 150, 160, perhaps even up to 170 here. But this morning when they started, we saw this foreign star looking a little ragged in their field placing. I don't know who's captaining in today, but the field placing at the start was not good at all. The bowling wasn't as tight as we've come accustomed to it as well. We saw, for example, Dion Burton not being his usual sharp self, not being very miserly as we've accustomed to him in his bowling, instead of being behind the stumps. Conceded some 27 runs off his 3 overs, not like Dion Burton at all. He tends to keep it maybe 1 or 2 runs per over, but today he was off. And Langville and Charles really made the most of it. So again, as we said, it's a good batting track. Runs are there to be made, and if you can bowl, you can get some wickets as well, or you can keep things tight and keep the pressure on. But it's good cricket here at the Ronald Webster Park on this Sunday. One of 2 matches are scheduled for today, as we continue to just what can I say? I can't even say think about or reminisce on the agony that we are seeing being unfold at the Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad. What a misery! What a shame!
Well, I have faith. We can bat 5 sessions. Complete sarcasm. We can't bat 2 sessions.
Man, I just can't take it.
I don't understand.
Really.
I woke up this morning to come to work down here. I turned on the cricket at 10:30 when I came out of the shower.
Yep.
Saying it's been a half hour. We had 5 wickets down before the play started.
Yep.
We'll be fine.
It was all over.
We were knocked over within a half hour.
That's right. I could not believe it myself. I was keeping track on the test match at Old Trafford, seeing if there was any play. Just happened to switch the channel, and I said, "What?" I saw for 9. I said, "Really?" I said, no, man, this must be dreaming. And then it was true. I looked up again and I saw West Indies being bowled out. I said, wow.
Usually, the West Indies, the top order fails, and there's a bit of lower order respite.
But I keep saying we're playing on two different pitches. I'm seeing the Indian bowlers are doing and what our bowlers. I'm looking at the Indian pacers and I'm seeing balls been swinging and moving all over the place, and our bowlers, everything is through a pipe, straight as an arrow. Anyway, we're about to continue.
Shiv again. Into the offside, Saunders gets a single. Saunders moves to 7. Scores up to 70 in the course of over number 11.
But we've got a long way to go, Caribbean cricket, certainly.
Very long, very long way. Perhaps him on the pads now. Shot going up. Not out, says the umpire. They'll get a single as well.
Leg by?
Leg bys.
Saw a suggestion from Indian cricket great Sunil Gavaskar.
Take
away the central contracts, increase the test fees, and you might be able to see something. I also saw a comment from Mikey Holding on what he thinks needs to be done to get our cricket back to where it ought to be. I'll share that a little later.
Well, we can just simply say.
And I've seen another one from an Indian commentator, but I'll break.
Saunders down the track, chipping this one toward a long on, getting a single.
An Indian commentator's former England player suggested West Indies ought to be taken out of the test status and go into the associate status.
Number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 scored 10, 15, 4, 4, 7 and duck.
Right. Wonderful telephone number.
Yes, indeed. 1015-4470.
That's right.
That's a good phone number.
Good phone number. It is sad. It is sad how cricket, it's embarrassingly sad. It pains my heart. It pains all of us as Caribbean cricket lovers.
I think we're betting on two different tracks.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a shot and a half. That's a shot and a half there by the man Longville. He loves a sweep. He got down, he absolutely scorched that one. That's 4 runs.
Yeah, wonderfully played. Again, I would like to see Shiv Benjamin going back to his traditional left arm spin. He's loading slow medium left arm. So medium, more like slow medium here. And I would really like to see him going back to spinning.
The pace needs to come off. He's bowling a bit too fast.
Much too fast.
That's a bit more like it. He's trying to bowl a bit too fast than the usual Shiv Benjamin.
Slow it down and allow the batsman, force them into going at you. Make them come at you and then you lure them into error. That is what is needed. Just take the pace off.
He's usually slow left arm. He's bowling slow medium.
Yeah, that is what he's doing. Look at it.
Yes, a bit too fast there from the usual Shiv. He's pushing to the offside for a single there by Saunders. That's the end of 11. At the end of 11 overs, good over there. It's 78 for Warner.
Yeah, the Spartans continue to push the scoring along very nicely. And again, I don't know what's happening out there. Who's in charge? I really don't know. I'm not seeing the sort of leadership that is expected. It's Ashley, but Ashley doesn't seem as though he's
there, but
he's there, but not there. That's what we're trying to. That's the point we're trying to make. He's there, but he's just not.
33.
He's just not in control. He doesn't seem to be taking control of and reading the play and reading the game and setting the appropriate fields to the bowling, and everything just seems out of whack today. I don't know, for some strange reason.
He's there, but he's not there.
Yeah, he needs to take control.
He usually feels showing extra cover. He's feeling a third man right now. Ashley White.
Yeah, he's just not.
It's odd. It's very, very odd.
everything just seems so flat on the part of the foreign stars. I don't know. They're tired. Haven't they been rested? Are they still smarting from yesterday's game? I don't know. They just seem very flat-footed.
Very reactive as well.
Normally they're very enthusiastic and robust-looking team. Today they're just not. They just don't seem to be into the game today. It's just like
very offside heavy field. 3 men back on the offside. This is driven with some power down toward the short cover region. Well, the deep cover region gets a single. If there's one man you don't want to entice to drive on the offside, it's Akeem Saunders.
Oh, yeah.
His timing to the offside is second to none, really, in this part of the world. Mentos into bowl to Longville. Back cutting straight to short. Extra cover with Harris. Does the fielding, there'll be no run. Surprised Harris hasn't gotten the ball yet either. It's going to be Mentos again. Flatter and a bit faster. And again, there's no run. Very, very good over.
This is it about Mentos. He can maintain a good line, and he's gonna bowl on or just outside that off stump consistently.
Mentos again fights it up, and Longville gets this one off the outer portion of the bat, and he'll come back for 2.
So the Spartans now into what? The 80s?
81 they've gone to.
Over number 12.
Deep square. There's no one really behind square, and Longville can sweep. But it wasn't meant to not giving him an inch to breathe. That's perfect. Just 1 run off the over. After 12, it is 70. It's 81. Sorry. So it was 3 off the over. Sorry. It's 81. 81 for 1.
Yes, Mentos continues to bowl a good spell here for his team, the Foreign Stars, keeping it very tight. Just as I said, bowling to one side of the wicket, varying his line and his length as well very nicely, and basically telling the batter, look, if you want to go play your shot, you come. I'm going to throw it up there. You want to score, then come at me, and you come, you make your error, and we get you. So he's that kind of a bowler. He's going to entice you. He's going to keep to one spot. He's not going to be here, there, and everywhere. Just one side of the wicket, consistently so. Good variation, good flight. Now and then he carries one through with the arm. I think Mentos is a really fine bowler. Good thinking bowler. I like to see thinking bowlers.
Here's the captain. Ashley White taking up the attack. He'll bowl his right arm, leggy / off break / whatever he feels like bowling that delivery.
And he bowls just about everything.
Yes, indeed.
Well, let's see what he does now. Let's see if he has better control of his field settings and placements now that he's with the ball and bowling. I see he's bringing a man right out on the deep cover boundary.
Has to be bang on target. Bowling leg breaks his delivery, and it's a cut shot that's played. And it was a very quick single taken there by Akeem Saunders. Gets home safely in the end. Scores on by 1 to 82. Saunders is 11. Longville is 35. Very strong on the sweep as Longville. Ashley White has to be bang on target. Oh, I don't know about this at all.
If he's going to bowl the bowling leg breaks,
he has to be bang on target.
yeah.
He gets
a
it
sweep
wrong.
on the deep cover boundary.
Longville is going to sweep the second he gets it wrong.
Yep.
Flatter, faster, pulled away into the gap. That's 4.
That mid-wicket.
He
Yeah,
just moved
the
the
mid-wicket.
man from the square leg region to backward square.
Yep.
And that's pulled away for 4.
Very nice stroke indeed. Picked his spot. Saw the movement in the outfield. Saw the player was moved, as Doc indicated, and just picked his spot. Had enough time. It was slow, went back very quickly and just looked at the spot and said, look, I'm going to hit it here. This is where I want that shot to go, and he did just that. 4 runs. Good stroke.
As White fights this one and it's swept away down toward the square leg boundary. This time the man is there. He's moved back to his original position. Just a single. 40 up now for Longville.
So now he's made that adjustment again. Man has come into the orthodox mid-wicket area. Man right back on the rope. There's a wide long on, wide long off.
This is a full toss. Saunders is just pushing into the offside. And it's just a single. I wanted 2 for a moment, but just a single on it. Saunders move on by 1 to 12. The score is up to 88. As it's Ashley White bowling his leg breaks. It's driven straight back down to the bowler for no run. White again to bowl the long billow's backhand. It's put down. Ashley White has put it down. That is very unlike the skipper. Usually a safe pair of hands, but he's put that one down and he's allowed Longville to survive. Longville dropped by Ashley White on 40.
Very much unlike Ashley White, one of the safest pair of hands you can find around the cricketing arena here in Anguilla, and he just dropped a sitter. Wasn't hit with any tremendous force by Longville, looking to force it back past the bowler, but instead struck it straight back at Ashley White, and Ashley White with those big hands on this occasion has failed to cop it and hold it, unlike Ashley.
Yes, indeed. Been looking for Harris all day. Here he is now, finally.
So finally Harris is going to pick it up from the northern end of the ground. Let's see what he can do, but again, the Spartans won 8 to 8. The score was 81 for 1. Yeah.
Because Mentos bowled the 11th.
Yeah, Mentos bowled the 11th. And then
Ashley White bowled the 12th. This is the 13th.
This is the 13th coming up. So 13 coming up.
Is it the 13th or this will be the 14th? This is the 14th.
This is the 14th. Yeah, I know yes. I had it correct. Yeah, this is the 14th coming up now. But the Spartans, as you clearly saw in that last over, the indication is there that they want to push it on. They want to really push it on now. So Harris, we're going to be looking at him. Yep. So a single there.
Single they're taken. And of course, over number 14. It's almost to 89. Saunders, he's up to 13. Longville, the wicketkeeper batter who's been there all day to strike. Harris is into bowl to Longville. They know each other very well. That's driven down the ground very aerially. Harris almost got a hand to it, but in the end it will be a single.
Yeah, it's very close to pulling that one off. Wasn't too far away from him at all. Made a good attempt. Going on his weak side, not his bowling side, going away to his right. Tried to make a catch of it. Almost pulled it in.
Harris. Yet again, a left arm around the wicket into ball. Akeem Saunders, that's turn. Look at the turn there from Harris.
Well, this is the first one we've seen with so much bite on the track here today. Really tweaked that one.
He's a spinner.
Yep.
He's a spinner, the man Harris. Up at St. Martin. Left arm around. The ball
Oh yes, well bowled youngster. Well bowled, well bowled.
Harris is bowling well. Bowling rather well.
Cleverly bowled.
Calling for him all day. It's taken a very long time to get him onto the ball. Harris into bowl again. This time it's turned to the leg side there by Saunders.
Spartans now into the 90s.
Up to 91.
Yeah.
91 here in the course of over number 14.
So not too many overs left, so they would certainly want to start.
Accelerate it, they
Yep.
can slow it right
Get the foot
down.
down on that pedal.
Mentos, Shiv, and now Harris.
But Harris Bryan is certainly tweaking. You can see that wrist action. You can see he is really trying to turn the ball.
Harris. The
Yep.
ball's one is turning again, and there's no real run on offer. The pitch has something for everyone. Something
Yeah.
for spin, something
Well,
for pace, something for batters. And that's a very good over there by Harris.
Yes.
At the end of 14, just 3 off it. 91. 91 for 1.
Well, you were calling for Harris for a long time, so you clearly knew what you were talking about. He certainly looks good. I like the tweak. I like the fact that he's getting the ball to turn. One of the spinners that we've seen today that is really tweaking. You can actually see that wrist action going in, and it hits the turf and it bites and grips and turns. As we say, good afternoon or good morning to John Millington.
Good day to you, Keith, and to all our listeners, viewers, wherever you are. It's a beautiful evening out here. As cricket continue at JRWP. It's going to be a bowling change and end for Mentos. So Ashley White has taken off himself and has given the ball back to Mentos, who's going to be coming from the Central Polyclinic end.
A good move, I thought. Mentos has bowled very, very well. He's gotten the only wicket to fall, that of Akim Charles for 31 when the score was on 62.
Has been a very steady bowler for Livingston over the years. Left arm, slow bowler. Mentos with the score under 91 for 1 in the course of, well, over number 15 about to begin. 15. The foundation have been set. It's now how can they launch from the foundation from which they have set. Will they be able to, among some 160, 165? That's the minimum they will be looking at as Mentos moves away to bowl to Sanders. Sanders is getting a full toss, playing this one inside out. It's going to go one bounce down to Shiv at wideish deep extra cover. He moves on by 1 to 15 is Shiv, and the total moves on to 92. 92. Longeville, the right-handed batsman, wicket-keeper batsman, taps away and wait for Mentos. Sees the field changes over, the men out. Deep extra cover, long off, long on, mid-wicket, and the man at square leg. There is a short mid-wicket, extra cover, regulation cover and backward point. Here is Mentos, the ball to Langerfield, to this delivery. Langerfield is going back, racking back, and run out, and we're saying keep the ball, don't throw it that hard. And Langerfield gets home for one more. He moves on to 42, and the total moves on to 93. Mentos continue to be tight. Mentos again to bowl to Langerfield. To this delivery. That's rather Sanders. Sanders is down the throat of long off. Down the throat of long off. After playing so well, Sanders, he has hit it down the throat of, that looks like Charles. And the catch has been taken. And the man, Mentos, gets wicket number 2. Sanders goes. Caught by Charles. Ball Mentos for 15.
Skill. Mentos again, as I've said, he's a very wily and very skillful bowler. Here is the skill of the bowler Mentos. The breeze is coming from the back of us, coming towards the northeast. Mentos is bowling into the wind. He threw that one up.
93.
The ball being pushed away from the batter. The batter is advancing and the ball is not really coming. The ball wasn't at all there for that drive. Young Akim Sanders dancing down for all his worth. Maybe could not get to the pitch of it. So that was a very clever, and the ball is just a little wider off the off stumps. He had to move a bit. Then, as I said, the breeze is coming out towards the shoulder from the northeast. is pulling the ball back. So Saunders thought that he would have gotten to it in time. Didn't get there in time, went through with the stroke, and just held out for the man coming off the long off boundary to take a good catch. So again, the skill and the wiliness of this guy Mentos, who is an excellent and experienced bowler, dragging Saunders out. Saunders not getting to the pitch and just holding out in the deep for his second wicket. Well bowled, Mentos.
Indeed, well bowled. Well, new batsman is, we wait to see. It looks like Wadwa, but we're not seeing him on the starting lineup. Wadwa. It's going to be Mentos continue. 93 for 2. 93 for 2. As Mentos moves away to bowl to the new batsman. Doesn't bowl. A dead ball. Or in fact, he's having some fun. The umpire has the ball in his pocket.
That's right.
He was bowling wind. It's the second time we've seen that. We saw it last week. Here is Mentos to bowl to new batsman who dabs it away to backward point. This could be trouble. Cyril gets it. Oh, he gets in.
He's there. He's back. Trouble.
Oh, he got in.
Almost thought for a moment he had gone too far.
Almost got in to a place of no return.
Good bit of work there by Cyril at backward point. Came in very quickly and got the ball back into the keeper's end in a flash. But good work there. So the Foreign Stars just within the last 2 overs just seem to be getting into their own now.
Yes. It's going to be Mentos. Some repairs being done to the stumps by the wicket keeper. It is Mentos the ball to the batsman who is playing this one through just short mid-wicket fields and scampering to his left. No run resulting. 1 and over by Mentos.
Better set field too. Short extra. There's a man at cover point. There's a backward point. Long off. Sweep on the deep cover boundary. The ideal field for Mentos bowling this way.
Mentos to this delivery. That's a big he-ho outside of there. Some block going across the line. And Mentos is begging and is begging. The over comes to a very good over by Mentos. He's a character in the middle. Mentos, be it whether he's batting, fielding, bowling, whatever. Mentos is just a character. And at the end of over number 15, it's a 93 for 2, the GA Spartans.
So just 3 runs conceded in an excellent over and got the 2 runs conceded and getting the prize scalp of Akim Charles. So Mentos is the man for the Foreign Stars. New button. He didn't quite get it. But the Spartans would want 5 overs left.
Indeed, it's Wadwa.
Wadwa, yeah.
It's not on the page.
It's not on my list.
Yes, but it is Wadwa.
Wadwa.
Okay. Become accustomed to him. And just maybe a typo. Over number 16 to be bowled.
So it's 15 overs completed. 2 wickets down for the Spartans. This would be over number 16 coming up here now. 93 is the score. 93 for 2.
93 for 2. You heard some talking coming over there. It's just a feel as with the absence of a scoreboard, feel as trying to find out the score, want to keep
yes, it's so important
things. Yes.
In the T20 and 50 over, the limited overs variety, you certainly want to.
Harris to continue.
Check.
He's going to be bowling to Langeville. Left arm around the wicket, ball to Langeville. Langeville is going across the line, looking to hit this one, looking for a big hee-haw down to Cow Corner, doesn't make contact. And Harris is not just bowling, so he's turning the ball.
Yes,
so Langeville will have to be careful because he can easily get an outside edge, a top edge, and that can fly anywhere.
Langeville is clearly showing his intent now that it's time to get going. We need to
yes.
get it on. 93 runs on the board.
He's truly a no-nonsense batsman, Langeville.
He's from the start. He's been batting well into the 40s, and he thinks it's time for me to. My license is now.
And it's so versatile. The GA Spartans has been, because over the time it has been a Sherwin Peters and David, who they've been their openers. We have seen none of them today. David has failed in the past couple of innings. As to this delivery, has another delivery. He's going a big hee-ho, and it just seems like the West Indies and India, that Harris is bowling a marble. Yep. He is bowling something that is invisible. Langeville all of a sudden cannot see the ball. He can't locate the ball. Here is Harris to bowl to Langeville. Langeville is hitting this one. It's in there. He can be caught. It is going down to Singh, who takes the catch at the corner. That's the shot, and Harris is escorting him off. He goes, Langeville goes, caught to Singh, and the deep mid-wicket boundary. He goes for a 42.
42 well-played runs there by Langeville, but in the end, with just 4 overs left, certainly wanting to push things on. And well bowled, Harris, and Doc Bryan was saying since the start when he was on, he was wondering why we hadn't seen Harris earlier. And now I see exactly why Doc was insisting that Harris be given the ball. Excellent bowler. And I'm saying looking at him here now, I'm saying, boy, he should have been in the attack a little early as well.
Well, you see, the thing about it is it's going to be a risk. It's a risk it's a risk and reward. Whether you want him to bowl in the first power play, or through the middle, or at the depth where the foundation is set, because it is easy to go and play Harris out and have a go at the end. Now they are looking to launch.
Perhaps it's the best time.
It is the time, and now it is the time. If you notice what is happening, you have Mentos at one end, Harris at one end. They are looking to launch. The partnership was built, a very good partnership between the opening pair and Saunders along with Langeville, but all three has been dismissed. Now, both batsmen at the crease are not.
Yep, Williams,
the new batsman. Williams.
This young Harris is certainly turning the ball. I've seen the other spinners. They maintain good lengths, but they're not turning. This guy is actually tweaking. You're clearly seeing the ball hitting the surface and
yes, it's deviating.
And deviating appreciably, not just a bit, appreciably. He's turning the ball, actually turning. You could look at the wrist action and you see that tweak.
He's putting something in and he's getting it out. Yeah.
I'm loving it, man. This, for me, is
cricket at its best.
That I like to see.
Yes. You play shots, you're going to get runs. You can bat, you can get runs. But if you can bowl, you will get wickets. It is going to be Harris to continue. He's going to be bowling to the new batsman, Damian Williams. Williams taps away, wait for Harris. And to this delivery. He's coming forward, ripping this one past him. Oh my! He's ripping this one past Williams. What a beautiful delivery. We are loving it here, even in the commentator's box.
Wow, this is spin bowling of a high quality. This young man is turning the ball. On a pitch that we were saying all along that this and that and the other, but this man is turning. He's actually turning.
Here is Harris, the ball to Williams.
That one was the arm.
My.
Came in
with the natural angle and the arm ball. Harris. Is somebody in the leeward seeing this?
This guy is turning.
Harris to bowl to Williams. Williams is going outside the line of the off stump. It's bouncing. Oh my. He's bouncing it because he's tall. Yep. And so he's getting it to rip. He's getting it to bounce. What else are we going to see him do? My. Harris at the end of over number 16. It is...
First maiden
93,
of the innings.
Yes, it's the first innings of it's the first maiden of the innings. It's a 93, a wicket maiden, not just a maiden. It's a wicket maiden. It's 93 for 3.
I'm going to leave you, Frankie Claxton, the boy, so I'll leave you in the safe and comfortable hands of Millie before Frankie comes in to take it.
Yes, it's good company. You are indeed good company, Keith. And equally, the man Frankie Clarkson will be. It's going to be Ashley White, who's going to take up the attack from the Central Polyclinic and taking over from Mentos. Mentos bowling a very good spell. It's going to be Ashley White again, who's going to take up the attack. He's bowling right arm over the wicket to Longueville. And to Longueville, there is a man at backward square, one at forward square, a long on, long off, and a deep extra cover. Short mid-wicket, extra cover, and backward point. That's the field for Ashley White to Longueville. That's to Wadwa. Longueville has been dismissed. Here is White to Wadwa. Wadwa is looking to sweep his ball. Wadwa sweep ball, looking to sweep, and his leg stump, a knockback. Ashley White, the change has worked, and in the last 4 overs or so has been very, very productive ones for the Foreign Stars. At the time when the GS Spartans are looking for a move on, it is that wickets, a steady fall of wicket for the Foreign Stars.
Good afternoon to Millie, good afternoon to all the listeners and those who are following. Otherwise, is hoping that you're enjoying what's coming your way. And when a regular partnership is broken and the two partners go, you know what's causing trouble. And so, the solid partnership between the two batters before had been broken with a combination of Mintus and Harris. And now Williams has continued to follow up by putting on more pressure. The new batters now are going to have to not only try to work the ball around to get some singles, but you got to build a platform to give yourself a nice launching pad in the next 2 overs.
Indeed. It's going to be Kenroy David, the captain, demoting himself today, regular opener. Past couple of games, he really hasn't come off the mark, and so he has demoted himself and asked the batsmen who have been informed so far to take up the mantle. They have done a good job. Now it is for him to take up the baton and take it to the end. Will he be able to? Ashley White will have different ideas. Ashley White ensuring that his fielders are in the position that he wants, and as David looks around the field in his blue pads, maroon helmet, taps away, wait for Ashley White, ball to David. David is looking to drive this one down the ground. It flies to backward point. Cyril going to his left and field, sending a return to Williams. There's 1. David is off the mark. He's on 1. And the total moves on to 94. 94 for 3. 94 for 4. Yes, 94 for 4.
With the sharp fielder at the backward point position.
Here is Ashley White to bowl to Williams. Williams is turning this one down to forward of square. Man off. Boundary comes off and it's fielded. That's Ashby.
Yeah, another fleet-footed one.
Yes,
in the right positions. You put proper people in the positions that are workable. You know where people are going to ensure.
This one allowed appeal. And was it off the pad? Was it off the bat? They've gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. The keeper had to go away to fetch the ball, and it is leg buys. Oh, it flew very far for leg buys from a spinner. Score moves on.
He's pushing through the ball.
Ashley White. There is some bounce. There is some pace in the wicket, even for the spinners. There is something in the wicket. Here is White. The ball to Kenroy David. Ball to David. David is going down the track and hitting it 1 to Whiteish extra cover. Can't score. That one was driven crisply on the ground to Harris. Harris feels well. No run resulting. Score remains at 96. It's White again to bowl to David. David is beaten on the inside edge. Got 1. Appear to have come off the inside edge. You have gone for 1. It's coming close to the boundary. It will not get there. It's gone for 2. Will come back for a 3rd run as the keeper had to move away and get down to fine leg as he hauled the return. and it is 3 runs to David.
Surprisingly, no one in the fine leg, long leg area, and only God can tell me how he wasn't bowled.
Well, the ball came off the inner edge and past the leg stump, and it raced past the keeper, and the
It was a wonderful
99.
ball. Wonderful ball indeed, and the spinners have been doing the
It's
trick.
99. It's
Spinners have been
99.
doing the trick for the Southern Stars here. Seems to be an interesting game. Whatever they put on the board, they're going to have to ensure that they defend it, and defend it well, because it is not too much to tout about. They have not even reached 100 yet. And how many overs go to go? 3?
Yes.
So,
99 it is.
without a proper launching pad, you're looking at maybe 110, 115.
It's going to be Harris to bowl over number 18 to bowl to David. Bowl to David. David is walking this one off the pad down to mid-wicket. Oh, the throw went in from that's Benjamin. It doesn't hit the stump, and the batsman that's David got in. He is on to 5, and the total moves on. The 100 has been raised. 100 has been raised. It's 100 for 4. 100 for 4.
And how many runs they had without loss?
Well, they put on a 62 before the first wicket.
So the last 5 overs, they have been halted.
Yes, indeed. They have done well. Here is Harris to bowl to Williams. Williams to this delivery is getting one again. He was looking to run, find past the keeper. The ball jumping and it's bouncing and it's turning.
Living in dangerous territory.
Here is Harris again to bowl to Williams. Williams to this delivery. He's coming across the stump and trying to walk this one around. It's off the pad. They've gone for 1. That's all they're going to be as Williams, Charles Fields, and leg by is signaled by the umpire. 101. 101 for 4. It's going to be Harris as he waits for his square leg to get back on the boundary, mid-wicket on the boundary, long off and long on, and a deep extra cover, all on the boundary. Here is Harris to bowl to David, David is getting one outside the line of the off stump. He doesn't play. Looking to the umpire for a wide, and he's saying, umpire, that's a wide. The line is for a guideline. It's a guideline. He came across the stump even before the ball was bowled, and so he will not get that one at all. Here is Harris to bowl to David. David is getting this one, a loud appeal, and is it off the bat? The appeal went up, and we wait for a signal. We are not going to get any, so it's a bat. It's runs. It's runs. It's a 6th run for David, and the 102nd run for G Spartans. 102 for 4, 102 for 4 in the course of over number 18 with 2 to go after this. Here is Harris to bowl to Williams. Williams is looking to cut this one. A ball that kept a trifle low. That one kept low. Living very dangerously. A very good over from Harris coming to an end. And at the end of 18, GS Spartans are 102 for 4.
That was too close for comfort. You know, it's a hobby. These batters these days looking to chop the ball off the stumps. They don't have the art of doing that. They will have to visit the arena of the older batters to show them how to guide a ball off the stump. It's too close for comfort.
Well, Frankie, news just coming to hand is that England and Australia has just shook hands.
Oh, the weather.
In the fourth Ashes Test. it means that Australia retains the Ashes.
Wow, wow.
Oh, my.
Wow. What an interesting game it was, though. Nicely poised.
Yes. It's going to be Ashley White. Penalty made over to bowl to David. Bowl to David. David is hitting this one down the ground. He's going to get close to the fence. In fact, Shiv makes a mess, a hash of that one. And it goes into the boundary for 4.
Running too fast and running past the ball and trying to stop it with a backward dive. Doesn't make sense. You got to time, the outfield is fast, you got to time your run to cover. Didn't get there on time, passed where he was going and tried to get back.
Ashley White wasn't pleased with that at all. He stood up for a very long time. He's still looking at Shiv. He's saying, what did you just do? You didn't do a good job. Here is White to bowl to David. Bowl to David to this delivery. David is getting one. He's hitting down again to Shiv for redemption. Shiv misfields again. And he's going to allow us for a second run. It should have been 1 run. He allows for 2 runs. And they're looking for a third. They're not going to get it.
Going through a nervous period there. He's not accustomed to doing that. Needs to focus. Game is in a crucial situation the last couple of overs.
In this type of, you know what the situation is. You need Harris or Deon Morton in those positions. Those are high traffic areas.
Right.
Here is White to bowl to David. He's sitting this one behind square. They're looking for a single. They're going to get it too. Very slowly coming off the boundary. And he gets home for 2. 110. 110. David moves on to 14. David is on 14. Williams is on 1. There is... Cyril has been asked to go to backward square. And the fielder there is... asked to go to backward point personnel 110 and over number 19. Here is Ashley to bowl to David. David is hitting this one down to long off, and the man in attendance there is Charles, who sends the return a good one too. 15 is David. And total moves on to 111. 111.
See what they just did there? I understand they were trying to bring in a rule that if you run to shadow the ball, they're going to penalize you. How could they? But I'm happy it didn't happen.
That would have been foolishness.
It's a ploy for you to put pressure on the batter. You know, while your backup fielder is seeing what you're doing. Anything to thwart the game.
Here is Ashley White to bowl to Williams. Williams is getting one outside the line of the off stump. A big hee-ho. That right foot was going outside the line of the leg stump rather than outside, coming straight or outside the off stump to get him close to the ball. Here is White again to bowl to Williams. Some repairs been done there to the stump by Williams. That's Deon Williams, the keeper. Damian Williams, the batsman. Here is White to Williams. This one is hit. High, hard, handsome, 6 runs.
You got the description well. I would say powerfully hit. I've never seen a handsome one. The handsome ones go on the ground. Right, Keith? That's where we see the handsome ones.
That one was...
But Millie loves the handsome ones up there.
Yes, that was an expensive over. Very expensive.
So they've gone past my 115.
They've gone to 170, some 15 runs off that over.
Wow. I don't know if you ever had the privilege, Keith, but I've seen Baron Edwards, one of the best stroke players ever. People couldn't touch him when it came to stroke play. Okay, take it as I tell you. And ask. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And a guy from the Windwards, Pop. Oh, stroke play. Magnificent fielders. Frederick Thorpe. Beautifully.
The only one that says with a better cover drive than Baron would have been Saji.
It's going to be
My cousin.
Harris.
Livingston Sergeant. Yeah.
Final over of this the GA Spartans innings. It is going to be Harris to bowl to David. Bowl to David. David is getting one that is slow, very slow, and he's cutting down to a whitish gully region. Gets one is David, and the total move he moves on to 16, and the total
Interested
to
to know
118.
his figures and Mintus's figures because they quelled the scoring. When Mintus was taken off, I don't know if he's completed, and they had runs leaking up on that way. This guy continues to bowl tight.
Yes, Harris. At one time they look like 160, 165. Here is Harris to bowl to Williams. Bowl to Williams is dabbing that one and down to short third where Mentis moves away to his left hand field. One run to Williams. He moves on to 8 and the total moves on to 119.
Boy, this guy must have been watching Hafiz.
Harris.
Taking them off the stumps.
Harris has done a tremendous job for the Foreign Stars. The Foreign Stars have everything. All the praises must go to that man. Oh, he has done a tremendous job for them so far. It's for the batsman to come out and reward him with a victory. Here is Harris to bowl to David. This one he is looking to sweep. He's getting this one down to fine leg. They've gone for one. We'll come back for a second. We wait for the signal and it will come. Will there be a signal? It comes now. It's a leg buys. So the total moves on to 121. 121. 121.
I don't understand the field without a short third or short fine.
Fine, yes.
One or the other. And if it is short fine, make it very fine so he can cover for the third and himself.
Yes. Here is Harris.
It's a crucial area.
To bowl to David. Bowl to David. David is hitting this one long. It's in the air. And Cyril is getting under it. He is going to take the catch. David goes. Caught Cyril. Bowl Harris for 16. It's 121. 121 for 5.
Beautiful delivery. Lured him into the stroke. Tried to go over the top. He got a bit of wind blowing across. And so that aided the fielder to have a nice chance. And he took a beautiful catch. Settled himself. Got there, settled himself. Took it. These days I noticed that they like to lie down after they take the catches.
Yes. Good catch there by Cyril. Good pair of hands, Cyril.
That's where the beauty comes in, I presume.
Yes. After the hard work, you rest. Cyril. The new batsman is Pandey. Is it Pandey? That looks like Pandey. We wait to hear the batsman.
Observe the rules, guys.
Yes, you have to observe the rule. It has to be the new batsman who has to face Jamil Mohammed. So it's Mohammed. Jamil Mohammed who faces Harris, and that's a wide. That is a wide delivery. Call and signal by the umpire, 122.
That's one of the rules that I admire. They make sure that they didn't change. When they run out and they caught, you go back to your spot.
Here is Harris to bowl to Mohammed. Mohammed cuts this one. And Ashby doesn't feel cleanly. They've gone for one, looking for a second. We'll come back for it too.
Very much
and we'll get it easily.
Very much unlike Ashby.
124. Mohammed is off the mark. He's on 2. 124. 124 for 5. 124 for 5. Mohammed taps away. Waits for Harris. Is this the final delivery? Final delivery of the innings. To this delivery, he's... He's spinning like a top. He didn't know what went on there. The over coming to an end.
Mesmerized.
The innings come to an end. It's 124. 124 for 5 GA Spartans. Did they win the toss? Winning the toss choosing to bat. The GA Spartans being reduced 124 for 5. At one time, Frankie, they looked well for 160, 165. After the 15th over, with 5 overs to go, there was some 93, and it has been a tremendous job from the
spinners.
The spinners came back.
Especially this one that finished, Harris' his name?
Harris.
And Mintos. They broke the back of the batting.
Well, for Harris, he bowled 4 overs, 1 maiden, and he took 2 for 6.
Okay. Miserly.
Wow.
Yes.
Where do you hear that? 2 for 6, 4 overs. My. Superb figures.
And he bowled with a lot of guile. I like to see him. He is hoping that he has age on his side so he can go far. Bowls with a lot of guile. And what are the figures for Mentos? What are the figures for Mentos? Those 2 broke the back of the GA Spartans.
Frankie, we can talk just a little. I don't know what was said before between Doc and Keithstone-Greaves, but so I don't want to piggyback on anything that they would have said. We're going to have our own conversation, and we are going to have for Mentos got a 2 for 15
from his 4.
Okay. So from the spinners, bowling 8 overs for 21 runs.
Yes.
8 overs for 21 runs, and between them they got 4 wickets. Wow. Tremendous figures.
Yes, definitely.
Tremendous figures.
That's the partnership that broke.
Well, Frankie, the West Indies, 255 all out. While they ended their innings with some error codes. You could call them fax number, you could call them telephone number, whatever you can. My. The West Indies again, disappointing. There's been many conversation about, putting West Indies out, stripping them of, test status and putting them with the menus and what have you. 124. Frankie, what is your position when it comes to that? The covers is off. That's something bad for West Indies. The covers are off. It's bad for the West Indies.
100 more runs and they'll be batting.
100 more runs, Frankie? For what? You don't need to bat anymore. India doesn't need to go back to bat.
I just always put the whole caption of West Indies batting to mentality. They do not play cricket between the ears. They seem not to have anything between the ears to play proper cricket.
Frankie, in recent times, with India 280 odd on, in recent times, the West Indies has failed to reach 200, even their first innings.
That is true.
And so with the weather around, as the captain of India, what will you do?
I'll declare. But I believe he's going to go and put a little more squeeze on them, ensure that he puts added pressure. Right? Added pressure. Right? He's going to put them back out there, wear them down, add a few more runs, maybe 80 to 100, because he recognized that they were batting at a fast pace from what I saw. Because I went to church, came home, finished putting on my pot, so I couldn't.
12 overs,
right.
98 runs. That's a T20 game.
Right.
That's a T20 innings. And I want one.
I want us going in now.
Schumann Gill.
He hasn't done anything yet. So.
Schumann Gill is number 1 player. Well, he's a very good player because Schumann Yadav is number 1.
That's a warning. That's my word. He hasn't done anything yet. So with that kind of tempo, he's gonna go out there and do his do. But his usual style. And the young fella, the left-hander, he can up the tempo easily. Yeah, think.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yes,
so that's Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
Yashwant has been prolific in T20 cricket. He has been, I don't even know if prolific is the word to use for him.
Prolific.
Because I'm telling you, I watched the youngster bat, and he was just something to behold. He made the seamers look like spinners. As fast as they came, it was as far as he hit the ball in the IPL. He was, my. It didn't matter who it was.
Shubman is not in his comfort zone. To me, he was nervous. Is he nervous outing? If he settles, it's going to be a problem.
Shuman Gill is batting under pressure.
Yes.
Because he knows if he fails, what is happening?
But he doesn't play test.
The amount of players that are waiting in the wings, for India.
Yeah, but he doesn't play test, so he has no worry because he's going to be in the one-day team.
Of course he's going to be in the World Cup squad. Of course he's going to be in the T20 squad. Frankly, over the years, we have done some injustice. We have done some injustice to our communities in the Caribbean.
I don't understand how, and I always make the statement, Keith, and I referred it to Brian Lara, now I refer it to Desmond Haynes. Great batters don't make good coaches and good selectors. I always say that. And it has been there. Now Lara has to find another job because he can't go back to India to work.
No.
And
done there.
I think Desmond Haynes should be fired.
I don't
Big time.
know.
You know? You put in the cart before the horse.
Cut the central contracts.
A lot of sentimentality in the cricket, keeping out people who have been performing day in, day out.
Take out the central contracts. Let everybody have a fair shot at it, and I agree with that. Michael Holding says the T20 format is killing our cricket.
Big time.
And I agree with that as well.
Big time.
I also believe that we are not picking horses for courses.
All these youngsters that are now coming on that have shown their worth in the 4-day competition should have been given the push up to 2 years ago.
Frankie, I am going to go back to the grassroots. I had a conversation this week with a gentleman here, someone who's very knowledgeable of cricket here in Anguilla. And he was very concerned about even this, our APL. And he suggested to me in very strong terms that the monies should all be going into the school's cricket program, which he wants to see in with immediate effect. Schools cricket program and a grassroots program running here in Anguilla. And I could not agree with him more. He's saying, look, he says all of this is good for us to be playing some cricket in the APL over the last, well, this is season number 3. But we are making an error in not pumping some of these funds that we are pumping into the APL, for example, into schools cricket and a grassroots program. It's a very prominent person in the Anguillan community who had a chat with me last week, and I couldn't agree with him more. He's right.
I can agree, but you have to have plans in
He's
place.
right.
You have to have
I
plans
don't know
in
what
place.
is happening. You're pretty close. You're a lot closer to that
You have to
program
have
than
the personnel
I don't know what
to
is
put
happening
into the program.
into the school.
Because we had a viable one, when Cardigan Connor was there.
You need the schools program.
We had a viable one. Last set of guys coming through, I think these same Gukarans came through it. The young Adams, they came through it.
Yes.
But
it needs to continue, Frankie. It has to be restarted. It has to be.
Fell away.
It has to be restarted.
And I go back to the situation when we hired a sports director.
And all of that has to be put in. And I'm saying this not only for Anguilla, but for the entire region.
We hired a sports director from outside who had no interest in that area at all.
Pumping some real money into the schools and grassroots programs. This will help the West Indies, the wider West Indies program. You look at the other countries, our players are going...
The grassroots
we have
cricket
We have
normally
to
it's funded by the West Indies.
Yes, but whoever
the-
is funding the money,
the
bulk of the
association-
money need to be going into that.
The association has to get
Has to
the
get into
personnel and get the program going.
Well, get it going. Get
Right.
the personnel, get the money, and pump it.
So we got
in.
two avenues there. Government can do their share, but the association has to pull their socks
We
up and
gotta get cricket in the schools. We
back
got
in.
to get some cricket pitches pulled out in all the schools around. We need to-
Scotiabank was
we need to
the
find
sponsor
some
for the kiddie cricket.
Exactly,
Always
some
gave kits. Always ensure that tournaments are
for
ongoing.
boys and girls.
Right.
Boys and girls. No
We need
exception.
both. We need both. We need both. And right now, with the last term, when we did a few cricket skills, right, we were able to see a number of females
Yep.
getting interested. Good hand-eye coordination.
Frankie, I've been saying
We
the
need
opportunities are so vast.
we
and
need the personnel, number one. To ensure we get the groupings together. We need to make sure that we got protection, because safety is key. Getting the children to and from.
we need
We got to start with a central place,
Yep.
right? And I don't suggest the park. We need to find another area. Too many things are
this
happening
is what
in the
I'm
park.
saying. We need to
Right?
decentralize.
Yes.
So let's get it going.
And
We have to get it back.
at one point in time, I was touting the idea of community development. Community cricket was
Yep.
going well when I came back here. Eastern had a competition, Blowing Point had a competition. These guys inside here had a competition, and they played at various avenues. All these
We
grounds,
need to get it back.
all
the
these grounds
villages,
were going
yeah,
weary.
that whole village
we need
format.
to get back into the community
get it back.
to ensure that, and that is where, if you go into the community, parents who usually play cricket will go out, and the children will be attracted because they'll want to go with their parents, and they'll be interested in seeing their parents doing the action out there and would want to join them.
And I'm going to say something now. I've been out of the game for quite some time, but I'm prepared to put my whites back on and go out and help with some of these youngsters to coach and to train some of them. I'm saying this publicly.
I'm always
But we
there.
want to get back into the schools, and we want the community, the grassroots program. We have to get it back.
My time is
It has
available
to be
to
done
assist
in
the youth.
all the islands, because this is what, if West Indies cricket is to be saved, you have to get back to that.
Well,
And we need to get trained, high-level coaches, coaches trained to the highest degree, and we can get those basic, those rudimentary, fundamental skills taught from. I'm looking at even the test, our current testee, and the amount of basic technical skills flaws that I'm picking up.
right.
Basic technical flaws.
Yes.
How in heaven's name could you be playing a world-class spinner with both your feet inside the crease and you're just stopping and pushing? How could you be playing Ashwin and just standing up, both legs together,
These guys do
and
not
just lunging your back?
do not dance.
You cannot.
You can dance and still play
You
forward.
can dance and still play.
You can dance, nick it up, But
That
these
is
guys don't know anything about dancing. The only time they come forward, it's a full toss. It's
You're
there.
standing there just pushing the bat.
Pushing.
Boom.
Way out.
Forward shot, legs
Way
to the
out
point.
from your pad.
Slip.
Yep. It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
Any spinner what it saw. But he saw it. Boom. Throws it up there. Get a little bounce, a little turn. Inside
You
edge.
gotta learn to kill the spin. Get there.
You have to move and
Yeah.
get as close.
And another thing is that they play with their face open.
Yes.
If a leg spinner is bowling you, why are you going to open your
Why you
face?
opening your face?
You have to close the face and kill it right there. You're coming in, an off spinner is coming in. Yes, there are times when you can roll your wrist and play, but play the face there, kill it there. There will be times when you can go forward and come back. I don't see our players being able to go forward and come back and work the ball.
Angles, Frankie.
Work the
Angles.
ball.
That's another thing in our cricket that I'm not seeing.
And
Angles.
that is why
Angles are so
I
critical
said
in cricket.
our players
Angles.
have nothing between their two
Angles.
ears. Nothing between their two ears.
What we've been taught from early, you and I would have been taught. The V.
Yes.
What about the V?
You're right.
The V. That
You
is
start there, and then you
start
can
in the
progress
V,
your
and then
game
you
as you go
progress
along.
As you go along. Angles. Cricket
Yes.
is all about angles.
Yes.
Getting
yes.
the angles right. That's what it is. The V. That's what I was taught early.
And,
Look, you play
and the running running between the wickets. We were in our last
Turning over
term.
the strike.
We had a
Turning
lot
the
of
strike
fun
out.
with the children. We were just letting them thing, and then one of them said, "Teach, we used to play hit must run." Yes, and we said, "Yes, we're gonna do that," and that brought the fun in it. That brought the fun in it. Right?
Calling. Even
Yes.
calling. Yes. No.
Yes.
You know, loud.
And
clearly,
that helps prevent
formally.
ball watching.
Yep.
Yeah,
Backing up.
I
Backing-
mentioned
just come and
yesterday.
backing up.
I mentioned yesterday the West Indies captain just stands there.
Just
Just stands there. Doesn't even move forward with his back hanging back. Just stands by the box.
No.
How can we?
You weren't taught that way, man. You know, when you're taught the basics. And I'm
How
looking at
can
some
we?
of that basics, EMA test level. I'm looking at West Indies test cricketers.
I would want to see from here
Yeah,
on end.
who don't have the basics.
I would want to see from here on end if they're still
Don't
going to go
have the basics.
with this guy from Jamaica, the vice captain. I cannot see him carrying on after this season. I cannot.
You cannot be playing a spinner in your crease and just prodding you, pushing you.
No way. No
Any
way.
good spinner is going to eat you up.
Up long time.
Eat you up.
If you reach to his pitch, he's gonna pull it back.
Right.
And you have to be
You
aware.
pull it back,
And you have to use your feet to get up there to his length.
you get to
Or adjust. Even been batting the fast bowlers. They don't
What's
adjust.
your first movement?
Hardly any of them bat out of their crease. If a fast bowler is getting the ball to move across you, you cut down that.
You cut the angle. Again,
Easily.
cricket is about angles.
And I learned that as a
Cut
bowler,
the angle down.
bowling against Sherlin Williams, for example.
Get as close as
At,
possible to the
at
ball.
high school, they dropped him in my first over.
By the way, you're not missing it. Cricket. We're into the.
And
into the
I used to like to take the ball up and swing it. And, skid. Sherlin Williams was beaten, dropped. And the next 3 balls, I was hit straight back over my head. So I said, well, what's going on? I mean, is somebody at the boundary said, well, what the keeper doing? Sherlin Williams had stepped up in front of his box to meet my line and length. I eventually got him when I felt, well, I have to dig in one. And so I got him again. And the person from the boundary was an adult across the keeper. You see a man step up to your bowler and you ain't indicate to your bowler?
Give 'em all of that.
Huh?
All the little subtleties.
Yeah.
Variation.
You have to work as a team. And I saw that signal yesterday with one of the teams. The guy who was in slip realized that the batter had come up and he signaled to the bowler.
Just tell him something.
Yeah.
Just a little signal.
Signal, yeah. Yeah, pull it back.
Pull it back. Or
Yeah.
dig this one.
You got to work as a team.
Dig this one.
And that, as much as I don't like Kohli as a sportsman because I think he lacks sportsmanship. He's an excellent fielder.
Oh yeah, he does that.
But he's always into the game.
Into the game.
And even though he's not captain, he is going to indicate to the captain. Or if the bowler is close him, he'll indicate to the bowler, so be the
Look at
case.
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Australia,
yes.
Firstly.
I think he's one of the most brilliant captains that ever came.
Always signaling
Into the game.
something and telling.
Into the game. He'll run right down from
Cummings is
slip.
out and he said, look,
Yeah.
skip.
Yeah, run right down, talk to the captain or talk to the bowler. He's now vice captain, so he has a little bit more leeway in doing that. But we
This
have
is
to
where
play
your
as a
wicket
team.
keeper, plays
Has
a
to.
pivotal role.
And
Good wicket keepers with good cricketing brains.
you know that as you talk about that, there is a keeper
They're seeing everything.
in the female keeper for England. And I think I saw Healy do it to the keeper from Australia. Would come up. If they realize that the batters are going to meet the ball, they'll come up to help to keep you in your crease.
Yep.
Those are ploys that help to your team keep pressure on batters. And you have to work as a team. So if we don't get our grassroots program going, I know
we have to
it's a wonderful one. They just had a primary school competition in Nevis,
Have to get
and it was named after Morton, who won the competition in my program as a footballer and as a cricketer when I was running the primary school program, and it was good to see that happening.
have to get it.
The guys are playing good cricket. And the teams this year had to field a female, which made it better. And they're actually trying now to push for a female competition in Nevis in particular. But they need now to get them into the hardball section of it. We do have a couple of good girls. I think Saneldo Willett was named the assistant coach with the under-19s for the females, and it's good. And I've got some kind of family member there, Zahara Claxton, who is doing a wonderful job, you know. So, okay. So, well, Keith, we'll talk some more. We need to ensure that things happen. But they say put West Indies out. They did it to Zimbabwe and others. West Indies need a 2-year hiatus. My wife keeps saying it.
No. The clouds are darkening again in Trinidad. It's 118 for 2 over there. And they are going off again. They're going off. As India has taken a 301 run lead. They are taking a 301 run lead. And I have no doubt in my mind that India is going to take... is going to declare, I believe, that they are going to declare. Believe that they are going to declare and not go back in, judging the inclemency of the weather. Well, it is back here at the JRWP where our first encounter. First encounter of the day, it's the Foreign Stars taking on the GA Spartans as I welcome the man Sambo next to me. Sambo, good afternoon. It's a hot Sunday afternoon.
Yes, it's a beautiful day. We started real beautiful this morning. It was very breezy and a beautiful day for cricket here at the Ronald Webster Park. St. Martin Spartans won the toss and decided that they would bat.
It's going to be Belazar to bowl to Dion Morton, two opening batsmen, Dion Morton, left-handed batsman, and Michael Cyril, two left-handed batsmen. It's right arm around the wicket. Belazar to bowl to Burton. Burton to this delivery is pushing up on the onside. He can't score. The man from mid-wicket scamps around to his right and field. No run resulting in search of 125 for victory.
Yes, that's easy getting. Just play good cricket shots and you will get there.
Just about 6.5 runs and over. Here is Belazar to bowl to Morton. Morton is cutting well 4 runs. Not a man move. He stood tall. It's a ball outside the line of the off stump, and the man from backward point can only go and fetch it from the boundary.
Yes, that was a beautiful cut shot indeed. He played it very well along the ground into the boundary for 4 runs. Beautifully played indeed.
What a way to get off the mark. What a way. Square of the wicket. He's a diminutive figure. Left-handers love square of the wicket.
But he plays both sides square of the wicket. Very good indeed.
Once it is square of the wicket, they are going to go. They look pretty doing it. Oh, here is Belazar to bowl to Burton. When they look to pull his leg back, he does, and he's cut again, but this time it's straight to Doran. Can't score. And what he did on that occasion was to slow it up, looking to draw Dion into a foul shot. No, nothing like that, says Dion. I'm on top of you. It's Burton. Looks around, tugs at his pads. 2 men out in the power play, the square leg and the long off. Belazar just ensuring that he turns his hand over and gets his arm loose. Seem not to be loose, some tightness in the arm. He's ready now to bowl to Burton. Burton is hitting this one over the top 4 runs. Down to long on, 1-2 bounces, and he skips away down to the long on boundary 4 more.
Yes, that was a very good shot by Burton. He came on the front foot and played it very well into the boundary for 4 runs. Very good going here at 8 without loss.
8 for no loss in search of 125. This is a really good start. Oh, yes, this is a good start from the Foreign Stars, replying to 124 scored by GA Spartans. It's Burton again. Taps away, waits for Belazar. Belazar to Burton. Burton is cutting. This is going to go close to the fence. It may not get there. It's slowing up, but it gets into the boundary. That's 4 more. Getting past young David, and it races away down to backward square boundary, fine leg boundary for 4 more.
Yes, a very good cut shot here by Burton again, and it went into the boundary for 4 runs. He loves playing square of the wicket, and he's showing class here this afternoon here at the JRW.
Well, Belazar said, "I love to see you play that shot again. I'm going to give you a next one." And Burton said, "Well, I'm going to show you. I'm on display here. I'm the man in the middle. I'm going to do it." Here is Belazar to bowl to Burton. Bowl to Burton. Burton is getting a wide one outside the line of the off stump. Call and signal by the umpire. Wide outside the off stump. And that's 13. Score moves on by 1 to 13 for no loss in the course of over number 1. What a start. Foreign Stars. Here is Burton coming forward and pushing this one to extra cover. They have gone for 1. And the man skipping around from cover or backward point is Durham. The over comes to an end, and at the end of the over, it is the Foreign Stars in search of 125 for victory. They are 14 for no loss.
Yes, it's a very productive over here for the Foreign Stars by getting up to 14 in the first over. If they go at that pace, they will end it very quickly indeed. 14 for no loss.
Yes.
But Millie, I don't want the rain to stop in Trinidad, and I don't hope anybody do the rain dance to protect West Indies.
Well, I don't know about you. I want the rain to stop now. I want the rain to stop now. My team, we are not on the same page here, Sambo. We are certainly not. You will quickly find out why.
Durham?
It's going to be Durham from this commentator's booth end. May God close up the skies in Trinidad. Durham with a big number on his back, 824. Have you seen a cricketer with that kind of number on his back?
I saw 68 and these numbers there.
I saw the big runs like 333 from Gale and the likes, but 824. I must have to ask him what the meaning of that number. Yes, 824. Here is Durham to bowl to Burton. Burton. No, he's beating Wallins up. I was looking for the bails flying. Oh, that's a very good delivery. What a lovely start. Oh, he bowled with guile. He gets the ball to rip. He bounces. These Spartans bowler of Rich Harris is one.
Yes,
no
Durham is getting a very good bounce, and he's also tall and he's drifting. We see a very good bowling here from the left-handers.
No wonder Spartans is the defending champion in the St. Martin League. You see the reason why. It's going to be Durham. It's going to be Durham to bowl to Burton. There is a change in field. A long off is gone in, and the man on the mid-wicket boundary has come up. There is one that is dabbed back down to a backward point. They've gone for 1, looking for a second. They're not going to get it. Ramaj is fast. 1 more run to the total. The total moves on to 15, Tony. Score. Yes, it's 15-14. It is to Burton. 1 wide, 1 extra. Durham again. The farm over the wicket to bowl to Cyril for the first time. Cyril is on strike. First over was faced entirely by Dion Burton. Durham to bowl to Cyril. Bowl to Cyril to this delivery. Cyril is driving crisply out to the man and the deep extra cover boundary. They've gone for 1. We'll come back for a second and they will get it over quite easily. 2 runs to Cyril. He is off the mark. 2 more to the total. It's 17 for no loss. Really good start here from the Foreign Stars. No risk taken. Don't need any risk anyhow. They have gotten a very good start from Morton in the first over. Here is Durham to bowl to Cyril. Bowl to Cyril. Cyril is looking to cut this one. Doesn't make contact. Bit of bounce. Outside the line of the off stump. Durham. Daryl Durham. Tall, lanky figure. Moves away. Left arm over the wicket to bowl to Cyril. Bowl to Cyril. That is one that's driven. This could be close. This score. And Charles guilty of looking up and misfeeling the ball. Very guilty there. The pressure was put on him. Guilty of looking up. And that's what pressure does. The moment he glanced at the stump, because the batsmen were coming through for the quick single, he misfielded the ball and allowing the Foreign Stars batsmen of Cyril and Morton to get in.
Yes, it was a misfield, totally misfield. He kept his eyes away from the ball, looking at the players, and a single was afforded.
Yeah, it's Cyril. This Morton to Durham. Durham is moving away to his left field, but it's Daniel David who fields, and there is no run. So at the end of over number two, replying to 124 in 125 for victory. Cyril is on 3. It's Burton is on 14. It is 18 for no loss.
Well, they are just motoring around that 9 runs per over. At that rate, they'll be winning the game very easily. At that rate, if Burton and Cyril would stay there.
It's going to be Ramraj, who is going to be taken up from Belazar. Not getting a good start at all to the Belazar. Accustomed to see Belazar bowling 4 on the trot. Not today, not a good start. And as a result, David said, I don't have much runs on the board. 124 is not a lot. And with that start, I can't afford to give you another over. Things would be done really, really quickly in the power play. And so it's going to be Ramraj who is going to take up from Belazar from the Central Polyclinic end to bowl to Cyril. Cyril takes his guard from umpire Lady and Proctor, the 2 umpires for this game. That is Keithley Lake, sorry, that's Lake. Here is Ramraj to bowl to Cyril. Cyril is cutting straight to Durham, no run resulting. So Lake, who stands at Keithley Lake, standing at square leg, and the man on duty now is Liddy. Here is Ramraj to bowl to Cyril. Right, Cyril to this delivery. He's looking to go across the line here. Gone for 1. They can come back for a second. They will get it towards the wicketkeeper has to move away down to the fine leg region. We wait for a signal from the umpire. We're not going to get any. That's runs for Cyril. So he moves on to 5 and the total moves on to 20 for no loss. 20 for no loss. Here is Ramraj again to bowl to Cyril. Bowl to Cyril to this delivery. Cyril is hitting this, looking for a big hee-ho. I don't think that he really timed that one. Getting it to the man at square leg. Gets 1. He moves on to 6. And the total move on to 21. 21 for no loss. 21 for no loss. There is a second game here this afternoon. Also simultaneously right behind us at the REGTC. Here is Ramraj bowling to Morton. Morton is driving crisply down through extra cover. They've gone for 1. The man off the boundary is Sanders. Sanders moves to his left field. 1 run afforded Morton, and the total moves on to 22. St. Martin League team. The victors over there. Victorious team in the St. Martin League will take on Ducks United, the victorious team in the Anguilla League at 2:13 p.m. this evening, and at 6 o'clock the curtains come down on the female league. Here is Cyril, faces up to Ramraj, hitting this one over the top of extra cover 4 runs. Lovely shot. He stood tall and he heisted that one over the man at extra cover, David, and into the boundary 4 runs.
Yes, he played it aerial. He went aerial and just eluding the cover fielder and into the boundary for 4 runs. There was some risk in that stroke, Millie.
Yeah, a level of risk, but once he played it, timed it well, he got it over the top of David, who is in the circle. There was no stopping that one. 26 for no loss. 26 for no loss. Here is Ramraj again to bowl to Cyril. Bowl to Cyril. Cyril is again hitting this one to extra cover 4 more. That's a glorious stroke. Oh, it was over his head. And now to his right, David caught a nap in there. And it goes away. He had no chance. And it goes away for 4.
Yes, that was a much better stroke indeed. He played it very well along the ground. Beautiful stroke by Cyril into the boundary for 4 runs.
Some 12 runs off that over. It's race to 30. 30 it is for 30 for no loss after over number 3.
Yeah, they are scoring just about 10 runs per over. Will be
that's just about 10 runs. Not a lot. It's not a lot of runs.
So, Millie, what is your position now on West Indies?
My position on West Indies is that we are going to win the game. I don't know about you, but we are going to win the game.
Why?
We are winning the game. We are winning that game.
You see, I am 100% West Indian, but I don't believe we can make it.
I am a 100% West Indian, but I'm 100% sure that we are winning this game.
Okay, I would ask God to send the rain for 2 days.
No, the rain will stop.
It's very hard on the West Indies.
Well, the Red of St. Martin is right behind us. They are here already. The Red of St. Martin are already at the REGTC. It's going to be Durham who is going to continue. Durham to bowl to Burton. Durham bowls to Burton. Burton to this delivery is pushing this one down to short throw. They've gone for 1. Will come back for a second, will they? No. He's a very brilliant fielder, and he can feel. Yes. Burton. He is on to 16 and the total moves on to 31. No need to play any rash shot. You are well ahead of the game. Here is Durham to bowl to Cyril. Cyril is getting this one down to the man at the deep extra cover boundary. Is going to come off the boundary. Off a deep cover boundary. 32. 14 is Cyril, 16 is Burton. Keeping pace with one another. Here is Durham to bowl to Burton. Is driving in the air. Pass the man at extra cover 4 more. He saw the gap. He picked the gap. 4 more runs.
Yes, it was aerial and some risk in it, but it went into the boundary for 4 runs. You see, Burton is a very sensible. He works the ball around, and when it's loose, he dispatches it to the boundary.
He's toying with Kenroy David. He's toying with him. He's hitting it all around him, to his left, to his right, above his head, and he thinks that there is a chance, but there is absolutely no chance for him. Oh, the race is on to 36. 36 for no loss, over number 4 in progress. Cyril is on 14. 20 is Burton. On 15 is Cyril. Yes, that's correct. 15 is Cyril. 20 is Burton. And 1 extra. Yes. Here is Durham to bowl to Burton. Bowl to Burton. Burton is covering up. No need to try manufacture a shot. No need to go searching. You are well ahead of the game. He looks pretty. The diminutive Burton. All around in his right, he bowls, he bats, he wicket keeps, he does everything. Here is Durham to bowl to Burton. Burton again is pushing this one to cover, and young David Fields can't prevent the single as he moves to 21. Burton, and the total moves on to 37.
You see, Burton comes from a cricketing family. Richard Burton, Clemens Burton. All the Burtons, they had an entire Burton's team in Dominica.
Here is Durham. Oh, Cyril hits this one in the air and he's gone. He's caught. Oh, magnificent catch. No need for that. Giving his wicket away. And Belazar takes the catch. And in the course, at the end of the fourth over, Cyril goes, caught by Belazar, bowl the man Durham for 15. It's 37 for 1.
Yes, that was a very beautiful catch indeed by Belazar. He just launched himself forward and took it inches from the ground. A beautiful catch indeed here at the JRW. And the Foreign Stars are 37 for 1 in the fourth over.
Yes, a very good start. A very, very good start. For the Foreign Stars, but they've just lost the wicket of Raikil Cyril. And it will bring Singh, I believe, to the middle.
Yes.
It is going to bring Singh to the middle, so no Dion Williams just yet. It's going to be Burton and Singh will try to continue this pursuit. 25 for Victor, as I will say. Good afternoon once again to Keithstone-Greaves.
Good afternoon to you, Doc, and I want to say a very pleasant good afternoon to Terry Adams. Terry's actually doing some coaching in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Frankie, he says hi, and that he loved the little discussion we had about the schools cricket here in Anguilla, developing that and the grassroots cricket.
I need some more of that. Because when I was coming up playing cricket, Tao was my first coach.
Yeah, very, very good coach.
Terry Adams was my first coach. He's the one that brought me out to the park. Introduced me to Charlie Hodge. And Charlie ended up coaching me at under 15, under 17, under everything level, really.
Oh yeah, that's the veteran, man.
It is going to be, Chuck who'll be taking up the attack now, is it? I think it may be Akeem Charles. It is going to be Chuck.
Yes, Charles.
Be taking up the attack from the Central Polyclinic end, bowling his off spin to the left-handed Dion Burton. Between umpire and stumps, right arm around to bowl to Burton. Burton is sweeping and Burton is going to send this one down the hill. He is going to get 4 runs. Ill-directed there from Akeem Charles to start with. And Burton says, thank you very much. He will take 4.
Yes, Burton is batting very, very well here today, playing a number of strokes and just finding the gaps. He has this way of finding the gaps and scoring very quickly.
Score almost a 41. Burton is on to 25. Cyril fell for 15. It's caught by Belazar. Raikil Cyril.
That was a wonderful catch.
It's Charles again to bowl to Burton down the track and almost misjudged and pushed it back to the bowler in the end.
Yeah. Looked ungainly in the end, but played it, managed to keep it down, keep it out.
Here comes Chuck again, between umpiring stumps to bowl to Burton. Burton back looking to cut, but the extra bounce from the tall man and Chuck completely fooled him. Wicket-keeper Longville had to take that one almost at shoulder height.
Yeah, that one bounced and had turned as well.
Here comes Chuck into bowl to Burton. Flighted, Burton drives straight to Saunders at cover. There will be no run. Very experienced in a ring field. David Saunders Durham from extra cover to point.
That's right.
Here comes Charles. He's into bowl. This one is wide and it will be called and signaled as such by umpire lady. Also Damian Williams was there at third man. Also experienced. Very experienced offside in a ring. Here comes Charles, the ball to Burton. Burton back and pushing this one off his leg stump really. Back down to the bowler for no run. Singh still yet to face a delivery, but it is 25. As Charles is recovered from that first delivery, and he's bowled a pretty good over. Into ball to Burton, down the track, and he is stumped. Dion Burton with a rush of blood to the head. Came down the track really needlessly. He's gone. Akeem Charles has his first wicket in his first over. Burton falls for 25. It is 42 for 2.
2 for 42. Burton giving it away there. Well bowled. Akim Charles using his great experience, but Dion just not exhibiting the sort of patience that he normally has. Just a rush of blood there, wanting to get things going, dancing down. Always there, turned away from him, and the keeper had to be off in a flash. But Morton just losing his cool there, just losing his composure. Tied down a bit, he was scoring freely earlier, just got himself tied down, just needed to stick it out, and pick it up on the next over. So good work here on the part of the Spartans. They're really coming back into the game now, really pushing the fight now to the foreign stars.
Harris has really developed his batting in recent times. Was primarily a bowler for a number of years. He's really come leaps and bounds in his batting. We've seen him scoring. He had a partnership with Nathan Edward in the 40 under 17 championship, I believe, where he faced about maybe 90 deliveries. Nathan is a much more accomplished batter, but he was able to sit there and provide stability at one end while Nathan went gung-ho at the other end.
So he can bat. He has some batting ability.
Definitely bat. Has some batting
We saw him with the ball today, and he was magnificent. So we'll see what he can do with the bat. With his side now in a spot of trouble at 42 for 2, as we're about to see the start of over number 6. Getting off to a good start, the foreign stars. But losing Burton moments ago, and before him, Cyril, who went for 15.
All of a sudden, two new men in. Two men who haven't faced the ball, as this one is bowled by Durham. Coming off the pad, running toward a short fine leg region. It will be nothing more than one leg by. Two new batters. Singh faced the one delivery, Harris to face his first. Taking a guard on about middle and off.
This is where it's always difficult. Two new batters, they would need some time to get themselves settled, whereas if you had one who was there from before, that one could keep the strike going while the other batter gets adjusted. But here you have two new players coming in, and the fielding team now will be tightening the screws.
Deep mid-wicket, deep cover, the two men out. Just three on the leg side to the left-handed Harris. Durham to Harris. Harris clips it down toward the mid-wicket man. He'll get one. Look to come back for the second. There is no second run on offer, however. So it's Akeem Saunders down there doing the fielding. Harris immediately off the mark. So we're moving to 44.
So you're looking forward to the football kickoff. Team
Yes,
from
yes,
St.
indeed.
Martin, that should be a good match from all reports.
It's going to be a very good game. Durham. This one coming off the outside edge and deflected away at slip. He couldn't quite hold on to it. Looked like Damian Williams there at first slip. Couldn't quite take the catch.
It would have been a blinder. It would have been a stunner. Good attempt. Got his right hand to it. Ball is traveling very quickly at first slip. Did well to even get a hand to it. Got his right hand, but just could not hold it. It would have been a stunner.
Durham into bowl to Singh. This time Singh leaves it alone. It's going to be a wide call and signaled by the umpire. One not straight enough. Judged by umpire Lake. It's going to be Durham again. Left arm around, bowling to Singh. Singh covering up and protecting his stumps. There'll be no run. The team by St. Martin, of course, their prolific strikers, a familiar name to those who've been following Anguillan football. Yannick Belchis also plays for the Limas here in Anguilla. As this one is coming off the edge, and it's taken there by Damian Williams. This time, he held on to it, a much more regulation slip catch, and Singh goes without scoring. It is now 45 for 3.
Much too close to be playing that cut shot. Too close. Outside edge was found on that occasion. And this time, Williams at first slip made no mistake holding on to the catch. So we're seeing it here. We've seen it before. we're seeing it again. Good start, solid opening start, just off a few overs, and then the rut sets in as Ashley White comes in now, and he will have to pay certainly a captain's knock here today. We know he can belt the ball over this ground. He will certainly have to mix aggression with some good defense and some sensible, smart cricket if his team is to go on and get the 125 runs that they need for victory, Doc.
Yes, indeed. Ashley White coming in now. And he is going to have to stay there all the way through to get his team over the line. They need 125 for victory. 125 is not too far. It's not the biggest total at all. But they can't afford to keep losing wickets. The skipper will have to stay there. He'll have to be partnered by Harris or Digan Williams to come. Because the spinners are really causing some problems. Charles has a wicket, Durham has two. And Durham is not done quite yet. I don't think we'll see a single over. We may see some over as he can already give it. He's still the ball, but his pace is almost slower than most spinners. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Spin, spin, spin.
Kenroy deep will bowl spin. Ramraj is going to bowl spin. Belazar still has some overs to bowl. He's only bowled the one. Spinner, spinner, spinner. Akeem Saunders also to bowl some spin. Yes. Durham, the left arm around the wicket, bowling for the first time to Captain Ashley White, who surveys the field now. Is a long off and a deep mid wicket in place, no one behind, square. Durham has to be accurate. Durham is into bowl to Ashley White. White is forward. Durham is turning it. He's getting a bit of purchase from the wicket. Turning that one a bit. That's the end of over number 6. Very good power play. Outside of the fact that 3 wickets are down, it's 45 for 3.
Yeah, they've got up there quickly. They made a good start. The first wicket fell at 37, and after 3 overs, there were 30 runs going at 10 and over. Spartans have managed to peg them back a bit. That is Foreign Stars. They've lost those 3 wickets, very, very crucial. In particular, the wicket of Dean Burton, who was striking the ball so magnificently to all parts of the ground, but then got a rush of blood, danced down to Akeem Charles, and missed one that spun across him sharply, and the keeper did the rest behind the stumps. So a very interesting game, intriguing game that we're into at this particular stage. Still, the Foreign Stars with a chance of winning if they can bat smartly and be able to pick up the runs, but keep wickets in hand as we go along. But the Spartans, no doubt, will be looking to continue their good run so far in APL number 3.
That's the key. You said the key, they have to bat smartly. So 2 needless wickets. Cyril and Burton were going very good. They had no need to play the shots they played. Cyril trying to chip one over the top. Instead, just gave Belazar a dolly. He had to dive forward, but it was just lollipopped up into the air. And then Burton coming down the track, but he had no need to. He already had the boundary for the over. Just go and get a single. Here comes Charles again. In the ball to Harris. Harris is back and playing that one off his stumps back to the bowler for no run.
So just 3 fielders on the onside. So he's bowling predominantly to the offside field. 6 on the off.
It's going to be Charles again. Doesn't release that ball this time. Didn't like the run. He's going to go and reset.
And he'll be well familiar with Harris.
It's both over St. Martin. It's Charles again to bowl to Harris. So flight, and Harris drives it. Gets past the bowler down to the long on boundary. Belazar does the fielding. There'll be a single in that. Harris has his second run, of course. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the big news coming from Barbados. Shimron Hetmeyer is in the camp. Hetmeyer has been recalled to the West Indies side for the first time since, I think, August 2021.
That is correct.
Hetmeyer has been called back to the West Indies side. Was supposed to go away to the World Cup. He missed his flight. Got a second flight booked for him. He missed that one as well.
There was all sort of confusion. I still don't know the true story behind that one. I'm still waiting for that story to be told.
Well,
I have my own thoughts on it, but those shall remain my thoughts.
Yes, indeed. Here comes Charles. He's now bowling to Captain White. White is digging that one out of pretty much the block hole. There's no running that at all. The scoring has ground to a halt, really. The spinners are bowling rather well as White gets this one and pushes it straight into the offside. Again, there's no run on offer.
They're teasing Ashley White. They know he likes to go over the top, and they're just teasing him, just floating the deliveries up and tempting him alive.
It's only a matter of time before he goes for one. That one's a bit flatter, faster, and just guided toward Durham there at backward point. It's a single. White is off the mark. Score moves to 47. And this is a course of over number 7. Just 2 off the over thus far for Akeem Charles. It's only a matter of time before White tries to free his arms. Giles, the ball to Harris. Harris is forward and covering up. Got right next to pad. Just 2 off the over.
Well bowled, Akeem Charles, keeping it very, very tight. And as I said, Ashley White, I get the feeling he wants to wind up, but he has to play a captain's knock here today if he's to save his side from going under to the Spartans. Has to bat well. Has a good partner in Harris, who can bat, as we've been told by Brian, who would have played youth cricket with him and knows him pretty well. And we saw him with the ball today, and I'm certainly looking forward to see how he manages with the bat. Tall, slender figure, looks the part, shapes well, doing the right things, getting into line, not being tempted, playing the ball on their merit. And as I said, what's needed here is good, sensible cricket, and the foreign stars can win this game.
Durham to continue. Really bowling his final over now, Daryl Durham. Left arm around, bowling to Captain Ashley White. White is back and trying to guide this one past the backward point. There'll be no running that at all.
Again,
as Durham, he's not turning it much.
Not much today.
Just bringing it in with the arm.
A tall man, he would also get a little bounce off the pitch as well.
Durham into bowl to White, flighted, and just dug out yet again. White has been circumspect for now.
I wonder how long he can hold this in, keep himself in check.
Back and absolutely piercing that gap there. He got a gift. It was short and wide and put away. That's 4 runs to Ashley White.
That's a scorcher. It burned every blade of grass going across this outfield. That's the Ashley White we know. We know he can hit it, and he struck that one. It was short, it was wide. He got back, got on top of it, and just slapped it all along the turf here for 4 runs. Nice shot. Well played, Ashley. Also brings up the 50 for the foreign stars.
It's going to be Durham again to bowl this one to White, and White is forward covering up. No run there. White is 5, Harris is 2. The score is 51 in the course of over number 8. Here comes Durham again. White looking to cut this one. And it gets through, and they will get a run. That's not good feeling at all there in the point and backward point region. White gets a single. White moves to 6. Scores up to 52. looking over my shoulder at the REGTC. You see the St. Martin team. We don't see the Ducks United just yet. Their game is scheduled to kick off at 2:30. As the field shifts over to the left-handed Harris. These two know each other very well. It's Daryl Durham to bowl to Harris. And Harris is forward, pushing defensively to the offside where young David does the fielding. That's the end of 8. At the end of it, still going on a pretty good run rate. It's 52 for 3.
Yes, 52 for 3. Foreign Stars 125 is the target. Got off to a blazing start, getting 30 runs after the first 3 overs. Lost their first wicket at 37. Cyril and Dion Burton going when the score was on 42. And Singh didn't trouble the scorers, went without scoring 45 for 3. They've pushed it on to 52. That is Harris and Ashley White. After some, 8 overs? 8 overs completed. So another 12 overs to go. Still quite a few overs remaining. But runs are on the board, as we always say, and it will take some getting. You need to get them to win. You don't get them, you lose. It's as simple as that.
Charles to continue. Right arm over the wicket. He's bowling to Ashley White. More taps away, waiting for Charles to get into his run. He wants his field to be set. As the mid-wicket takes a couple steps to his left. Was covering up there, Ashley White. Charles been operating from the central polyclinic end. And it has a deep mid-wicket, a long on, long off, and a deep cover. No one behind square. Short mid-wicket, short extra cover, a point, and a short third man. As White is forward and driving straight. The short mid-wicket in Kenroy David for no run.
See, Ashley is really chomping at the bit. He wants to get into it.
Just waiting for the right ball. Back and trying to turn it into the leg side. That one coming off his pads. There'll be no run there at all. Ball will be left to square.
Imagine Ashley would have wanted to come in with, say, the score 75 for 1, 75 for 2, and just wanting to have his own way, to play as freely as he. But you could see he's under a bit of a, he wants to go and then say, look, boy, if I go and I'm gone, then, you know, who knows? And I'm the captain, I need to lead from the front.
Here comes Charles again. Right arm over to bowl to White, and there's no run in that either. White is soaking up deliveries.
I could just well imagine what's going through his head. Knowing Ashley White, the Ashley White that we know.
We know he can make up every delivery he soaks up. Forward driving, just surviving right now.
Yes.
Made it over by Akeem Charles. End of 9, 52 for 3.
Yep. Well bowled there by Akeem Charles. Tempting Ashley White to go over the top, but White would not be tempted. White is just contented at the moment to play in the V, played safe, and just ensure he wants to bat. And if Spartans are to win this, Foreign Stars, I beg your pardon, White would need to bat very, very deep into the innings or be there bat right through.
All the way through.
He has to. He certainly has. We have in the shed still to come out. We have a few more batters. Dion Williams, he can bat. Who else do we have?
Benjamin can
Shiv,
bat.
yes.
They have batters.
They have some batters. Kishan Charles. He takes a little more time. He's a
nudger.
He's a nudger. He picks the ones. You know, he's that. He scored a half century, I understand, yesterday. But he's that type. 52 is the score. 52 for the loss of 3.
It's going to be a change in bowling. The skipper, Kenroy David, is coming into the attack now. David bowling his right arm off breaks. Well, not really off breaks. Right arm slow bowling. The ball isn't breaking anywhere.
Trundlers.
as Frankie Claxton would have called them, lollipops.
That's a Jeffrey Boycott terminology in cricket.
Good to see you.
Moving into the offside, gets a single. On to Harris, almost to 53. Harris has 3, White has 6. Scoring has ground to a halt.
Yes, it has certainly dropped quite considerably, Doc.
From the 5th over, it's 3, 2, 5, and 0.
3, 2, 5, and 0.
Here comes David again, and White is going to turn this one into the leg side. He gets a single. White moves to 7. And Revolution, they've strengthened. I won't tell you who just yet. You have to wait and see.
Yeah, they brought in a big player. Overnight signing.
I don't know where they flew him out from. He's been hiding. As that's turned into the offside. Quick single. They get home in the end.
Tell you what, this young man Harris is batting sensibly. He's if he can stay there with Ashley White, there could be a real force here. They could really turn and get things turned on here. It could be a show.
He's a smart cricketer.
Very plays very intelligently. It's not extravagant, but just plays good cricket strokes.
It is going to be Kenroy David to continue from this the commentary box end. It's captain to captain now. David into ball to White. And White is cutting this one, maybe off the bottom edge. It's down past the short third man fielder. He will pick up a couple. The first time since his boundary, he gets more than 1 run off a delivery.
Yep.
He gets 2, the score's on to 57. And this the 10th over. They're going at a good enough rate. They're just chasing 125. They need to consolidate the wickets.
That's correct.
Keep the wickets to a minimum. They've lost 3. They can't afford to lose any more right now. David, his right arm, lollipops the ball to Ashley White, who turns it into the offside. And they get a single. That's very good cricket.
Good, sensible cricket.
White gets in the double figures. He's on to 10. Brings Harris back to strike with a score on 58 in the course of over number 10.
I'm going to make a bold prediction now. If Foreign Stars is going to win this game, the pair, Harris and White, will have to bat right through.
Right through. David to bowl. No, he won't bowl to Harris. He's not going to bowl. Harris has not moved. Harris has stood waiting and he refused to move. Dead ball signaled by the umpire. Now he taps. David. The ball to Harris. Oh, and is that one off the edge? No, it's not off the edge. Oh, they all went up. Harris is now jokingly telling Longfield, let that one alone. You know I didn't touch it. They're all teammates. They came up playing on our cricket together in St. Martin. That's the end of 10.
Yes, the halfway mark. So 10 overs sent down, 58 runs scored, 3 wickets taken by the Spartans. 125 is the target. We need to keep reminding you of that. And Harris, 3 not out, and Ashley White, 10 not out. Ashley White batting like the captain, leading from the front, playing very responsibly. I've seen him over the last couple of matches where he's started out well and then just gave his knock away. But today we are seeing a different approach to his innings from the skipper in Ashley White. We know he can hit it. He likes to hit the ball, likes to go over the top, especially long off, long on. But today we are seeing him being very circumspect in a way that is comforting, no doubt, to the members of his team and his supporters, that he's just playing, not taking any unnecessary risk, just playing up and down the V, getting the singles, which is very important, and just keep the scoreboard ticking over, waiting for the loose ones, the bad ones, and when they come, you put them away, dispatch them the way they ought to be dispatched. But for now, batting sensibly, realizing, of course, that the young Harris is with him on the other end, and he too is a very serious cricketer, takes the game very seriously, whether bowling, batting, or fielding, which is good to see, Brian. So, good cricket all around.
From overs, the last 5 overs between Charles Durham and the man in David, they bowled 5 overs for 16 runs. They have slowed the scoring right down, where after 3 overs they were 30 for no loss. From overs 5 to 10, it's been 16 runs. They're scoring quite tremendously here at the JRWP. It's been very good bowling by the spinners, typical of what you've seen in Anguilla for a very long time. The spinners, they know how to do the business here on this track. Once you bowl slowly, seems to be problems for all batters. Well, I like what I'm seeing in Trinidad. It's raining again. The rain stopped for a bit, but it has come right back. Oh, we needed the rain for the entire second session. Can the West Indies bat out? Three sessions? Claxton, I'll ask you. Can the West Indies bat out today?
No. No.
Oh, on a home track, our home service, we can't bat out a single day. A single day of cricket. Oh, it's really something. It really is not good at all.
If the weather holds, India will declare this afternoon.
Oh, India won't bat again. I'm sure of it. India's not going to bat
No
again.
need to
for the
take
test
that
match.
chance.
They won't bat again. Give the West Indies 4 sessions to bat out.
England is crying now.
England were looking so good. For the first time, I saw Australia on the back foot with no counter. Usually Cummins, he's not the most aggressive captain, but he has a counter for every move made by Stokes. He had no counter today, and because the short ball wasn't working, and when the short ball stopped working, he didn't have a plan B. And if you look at the Aussie batters, they have had no answer for Mark Wood. Mark Wood's pace, he's bowling consistently 145 to 150 k's per hour, and he's outside of Marnus Labuschagne, no one has been able to handle him. Play will resume now here in the 11th over. It's Charles the ball to White, a full toss, and White is just going to knock this one to the leg side and come back for 2 runs. It was a gift really for White, but
On the other hand, West Indies fell to the pace. Even the spin didn't do it, but they fell to the
Mohamed
pace.
Siraj ended up with a 5 for today, I believe. Mukesh Kumar picked up a wicket, picked up a big wicket, I believe, of Alec Affinis.
I wanted him to get an half century though.
Oh, he deserves one. He's
Yeah.
played so well throughout these 2 tests.
He's one for the future. He looks the part.
It's him and Kirk McKenzie.
Yep.
And they look like the 3 and 4 of the future. McKenzie and Affinis, 2 left-handers. If you want to break them up, might call it Shea Hope. But you have young Anguilla and Casey Carty as well. In and around the mix. Scored a half century in the ODI side a couple weeks ago. He looks like a test player. He is built to play test cricket. That was a single taken there by White.
Yeah, I actually thought that they were going to push him towards that direction, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Test is his thing.
We have a problem in the region of specializing certain cricketers to certain roles.
It's crazy.
Flighted up Harris drives for no run.
Crazy.
We have some of our best spinners, like Akilo said, specialized to play white ball cricket. That's some of our best red ball bowlers, like of Kimar Roach, not playing any wet ball cricket for some reason.
I think Roach should call it a day.
Uh,
He needs to call it a day before they drop him.
as Roach is not looking like the Roach of old, he's not leading the bowling attack like he usually does. He's not quite in form right now. Similar to James Anderson, they have the name and they have the track record, but performing right now.
Anderson came back and got one, but
Wraps him on the pads. Appeal going up. Umpire is unmoved. Everyone on the ground in blue believed Harrison came off his pad. Umpire lady says not. That's the end of the over. And at the end, just 3 off it again. It's 61 for
good
3
bowling.
after
They've
11.
tightened the screws a lot. And these guys are going to have to continue to work the ball around until they could get the bad ball to put away. Right. But I think Anderson should call it a day too. He did say at the beginning that if he doesn't get the strips, he will retire. You can't always get strips to suit you, but he's tired. He's 40.
He's 40.
And he's doing a lot of hard work. Yeah, he needs to retire.
Especially because they have the younger guys now, likes of Josh Tong, who looked very good in the test he played. Mark Ward is still bowling well. Walks is still bowling very well. Broad, even though he's a bit older, he still looks very much the part.
You still have the young Barbadian there.
And Joffre went well. Joffre, he just has injury issues. When Joffre gets fit, he'll be a problem. But Joffre just can't get fit.
I don't think they're giving him the right remedy.
Joffre. It's a shame he's not playing for the West Indies. He missed out on the under-19 West Indies side. Went to England. Now England have him. He was a West Indian through and through. We didn't use him, so someone else took him. That's right. It's going to be David again. And this one is cut away down toward the cover point boundary, where it's going to be just a single. White wanted 2. Harris didn't come back. It's almost to 62 here in the course of over number 12. When are we going to see a team really explode throughout the innings? Not seen it.
These two are going to have to ensure that they keep going and start up in the tempo. Because if they lose wickets again, they're going to lose the game.
They're not scoring enough.
The opening partnership was going very good, but I thought the 2 openers threw it away.
Throw away their wickets. It's only something that all West Indians do as Harris drives away to a long off for a single. We don't let bowlers earn our wickets anymore. We throw them away. The only batter of seed for the entire series in West Indian colours that made a bowler on their wicket was Captain Craig Brathwaite. And he made Ashwin bowl the ball of the game to get his wicket. Here comes David. He's bowling to White, and White is cutting powerfully into the offside. Just a single.
He has to learn to dance to spinners, though.
He's a very limited cricketer, Craig Brathwaite. Very limited.
Big time.
He has very bad technique. I'll be honest. His technique is not good at all. But he has this resolve, this mental resolve. You are going to get me out. I'm not going to give away my wicket. And that's the resolve, and we need more cricketers to show here in the region. The resolve of the skipper to say, I'm not going to give it away. You're going to get me out. That's a topic that we need to speak about. Josh De Silva. That's a topic we need to speak about.
Kevin Imlach is there waiting.
Not just Kevin, as Harris gets a single, because guess who's back playing cricket in Barbados? Shane Dorridge is back on the scene.
Waste of time, though.
Shane Dorridge
He was playing cricket last year. He was playing cricket last year, and they gave him captaincy of one of the matches. I wouldn't pick him again, though.
Dorridge is back on the scene.
I wouldn't pick him again. I wouldn't watch Bonner. I wouldn't watch Brooks. I wouldn't watch those guys again.
And guess who else is working on their glove work to play a full test match behind the stumps? Shea Hope. Hope has been doing a lot of glove work because he's a white ball keeper. He doesn't keep in red ball very often. When he plays for Barbados, he doesn't wicket keep. He's in walking because usually Shane Dorridge does the keeping for Barbados. He's in working on his glove work. to stay a full day behind the stumps.
The idea, though, is to encourage him to get back into red ball cricket and put him in the middle order.
We need. You see, we're waiting on it. He tugged that one from well outside the off stump, but didn't quite get the contact required.
A little more wrist work, put it further to the right of that forward square, and it would have been nice. But a nice shot, good thinking, and that is what you have to put into your game. You have to put thinking into your game. They've got to work the ones and the twos and try to get the boundaries. An odd big over or two right now would give them a buffer.
At the end of 12, the scoring has not gone anywhere. It's 65-3. From 6 to 12, they've scored 20 runs. 20 runs from 6 to 12. That's not going to toll. They're going at 3. They're going at about 3.5, maybe, if that much. Going at about 3.3 over the last 6 overs. That's not good enough at all.
They need to up the tempo, but they can't afford to give it away at this time. The approach is good in terms of picking up the ones, but they have to try and get twos and get the odd boundary. They have to work the ball into gaps.
It's going to be a change in bowling for the Central Polyclinic end. I think it may be Wadwa coming onto the ball now. Bowling his right arm leg breaks.
Another miser. And he gets good bounce too.
He doesn't turn it too much. Gets a lot of top spin on his deliveries. Deep spread field on the leg side. A deep square, deep mid wicket, and the long on. A long off and a deep cover as well. No one behind square. He can't afford to stray, because you know White will take full advantage of it. Wadwa. He's down leg side, but it's a bit too far down the leg side. It gets past the keeper as well. It won't get to the boundary. They can get 3. They have to get 3. Harris will come back and get the third run. That's 4 wide.
I still don't understand why a fine leg is not in.
Someone has come onto the modern game for some reason. You know, the spinners don't like players behind square.
This young guy is in the offside. Switch him or someone else into the short fine leg area. That's key, because it's a crucial area. Anything past the keeper can run away.
Change in field. They're now putting a backward square in place, a short backward square. It's Wadwa. Rolling his leg breaks to the left-handed Harris now. Does Harris have a broom? Can Harris sweep? He's back and pulling with absolute disdain. That's 4 runs. That scorched the earth.
A belligerent shot. Yes. He said, I'm here, and I'll take it. And he dispatched it beautifully into that wide, deep mid-wicket area.
Well, that was short. Ill-directed, ill-lined, ill-lengthed. Everything about that ball was bad, and Harris said, thank you very much. Hodge has to get his length right as the man at the square leg boundary is going to move a mid-wicket boundary now. And they had to retrieve the ball. The ball went across the road. It went through the open gate and all the way across the road into Brody's ground. Back in the old days, Brody would sit under the tree over there. He just wait till the ball to come over and toss it back. Here comes Wadwa. Sent the ball to Harris. This one is outside the line of the off stump. White went for a run by himself. There's no run on offer, however. Harris is 10, White is 16. The score is 73.
Need to get a big over or two, though.
White back
Nice,
and
nice,
not
nice.
White. Harris back and dabbing, but doesn't quite pierce the gap.
Right thinking.
Indeed, doesn't pierce the gap between Ramraj and Durham. As it's going to be Wadwa again. Wadwa into ball. It's short again. It's pulled again. There's no one there again. That was through square leg, and that's 4 runs. He's
asking for it.
He's placing the ball very well, Harris.
You have a 6-4 field and he's bowling short. That will happen. And he's played 2 good shots. He needs to finish this over positively. As I said, they need a big over or 2. This has been a good one thus far.
12 off it. It's the over they've needed. They've gotten the over required. It's 12 off the over thus far. Still a couple of balls left to be bowled. Wadwa. He's into ball to Harris. Dabbing this one. There's no run on offer.
I think he had enough room and enough time to cut it hard.
Need a full-fledged cut.
Yep.
Can't just dab there. It was short and wide. It was a gift. Wadwa again into ball. This time he plays it into the extra cover region. They want to come back for 2. No, Ashley White will not come back. It's a long throw in there.
Harris trotted down. But it may work for him. He's going to be receiving.
He will be on strike.
Yep.
That's the end of over number 13. At the end of 13, it's 78 to 3. 13 off that over.
That's a good over. They need another 1 or 2 like that, which will give them a little buffer to finish strong. How many overs are left?
Number 14 is about to be bowled. Number 14 about to be bowled. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 overs still.
Okay.
To get to 125 for victory.
So there's a fair chance for them to...
78. Yeah.
Dr. Durant has inquired. Wants to ensure that their work in terms of strategizing continues.
It's not Danny Durham, it's Daryl Durham.
I said Dr.
Yes,
Durham.
it's DR. It's DR Durham.
I don't think you're too young to get deaf, so...
Oh, no. I'm already blind. I can't be deaf as well.
Yes, Dr. Durham with 824 on his back.
I have to ask him what that number means. Is it 24th of August? I don't know. Here comes David again. Bowling to Harris. It's slow, and Harris pushes back down the track for no run.
That's a ball. He should have used his wrist, turned it into the onside, pick up a single or 2. There's nobody in that area.
Here comes David again. Into ball, and Harris is going
Lovely
over the
shot.
offside. Oh, that's a lovely shot. What a shot by Harris.
Lovely
on
shot.
the back foot, punching over cover. That's 4. I told you Harris can bat, you know. I told you Harris can bat. That young man, what a shot that was.
Picking up the tempo now. Had a good over before.
In complete control as well.
Yes.
David into ball to Harris. Harris back and cut. That could have been a wide. Should have left it alone, really.
Yeah. Oh, played squarer. Wait on it. Played squarer. Got room to the right.
It's
of deep cover.
It's a packed offside ring. 6-3 field. Harris pokes this one, gets through the ring into the outer portion. In the outfield, it's a single for Harris.
Nice run. Not the kind of 6-3 field I am accustomed to.
Not
It's
at all.
extraordinary in terms of the field placing here.
It's usually 5 men on the slip.
No,
You
but you
want
can have a 6-3, but not the way they have it set.
Yes, you have a third man, a
Right.
point, a cover, an extra cover made off, and a man sweeping or something like that. That's a traditional 6-3 field, but now a 5-4 to Ashley White. As White hits this one down toward the square region.
It should have been 2. Come on.
Get a single.
They trotted that first one. They should have been able to turn that stroke into 2 runs. He played it soft enough. Yeah, need to just run hard. Run that first one hard. That's one thing I admire with Kohli. You know, run it hard.
Ashley White is 17. Harris is 20. score is at 86. And so you have 1-2-5 for victory. They need wickets now. The Spartans. They can't afford to keep trying to contain the runs. They need wickets. Flighted. Harris went for a helicopter shot. Got through everything. And he'll come back for a second run.
Running too slow. Could have gone 3. There's no one between that man at deep mid-wicket and the keeper.
That's the end of the over. The end of 14. 88. 88 for 3. 10 off the over.
Strange field setting. Rather strange field setting. The batsmen need to look at the field placing and try to capitalize upon it. You know, it's very important that they utilize that. They need another big over to bring them back on par.
So we've got 14 overs completed, 88 for 3. As Doc Bryan has taken a break, I think he's getting adjusted for his football stint. Frankie's still here. Renford Kelsick has joined us, and also Tony Fleming doubling up with some scoring duties for us here today. As we're coming down to the end of this particular game. Over number 15 about to start. The Foreign Stars need to get 125, and that is going to be Devin Ramraj. First over wasn't a good one. Gave away quite a number of runs, and let's see what he does now. It's going to be Ashley White on 17, 22 Harris. As Ramraj comes in and bowls to White. White comes forward, nudges this one onto the offside, and there is no run. So again, this is the start of over number 15. It's 188 the score for the loss of 3. The Foreign Stars set 125 for victory here against the GA Spartans of St. Martin. Ramraj now into Ashley White. Turns this one into the onside. Down to back of the square nicely. They get 1. They will take 2 quite easily. Good running. Turning, and Frankie has been alluding to this. Running the first run pretty hard, and then going through for the second one. It's gone now to 90.
Better shot, soft hands, use the gaps wisely. Yes, run hard.
White 19. 22 Harris was batted well. Played a number of delightful strokes, this young Harris, after mesmerizing the batters earlier with the ball. Here is Ramraj now into Ashley White, who attempts to swing this into the onside. There's a loud appeal for LBW, and he is in fact, is he given out? Yes, he's been given out.
LBW very long, but I was
took
about
a
to
long time, Liddy.
I was going down the leg side.
Umpire Liddy took a long time. Seemed to have been going down the leg side from our position here. Ashley White, head down, very, very disappointed. Going LBW of the bowling of Ramraj in over number 15 for 19. Harris is still there on 20. The score now 90 for the loss of 4, Frankie.
The right idea to go for an undrive, but he played across the line. Play it straighter. Don't roll the wrist. Make your contact first before you roll the wrist. But it looked to me like it was going down the leg side though.
It did seem that way based on the stroke that he played, but the umpire Liddy is in the best position to judge, and he took his time.
Yes,
I was a little
stayed long.
Yes, I was caught off guard as well. I was looking, and Harris White was looking down after he'd played the shot, and I guess the umpire was, as Kelsick indicated, was probably waiting for him to look up.
They don't wait for batters to go at LBW.
But he took some time.
Unless they're real plumb, and you find only a good batsman would walk.
Yeah,
that's going down the leg side.
It took some time, yeah.
Right?
I was a little surprised at that one.
Yes.
I am not out in the middle. I'm some distance away. I'm not directly behind
I
the
don't know
bowlers.
what became of that scenario here when Stuart Broad played a ball straight into slip and stood up. Umpire did nothing.
Yep.
I
wait on the umpire's signal.
I couldn't believe it.
So
And
the new man, who is this new man? That looks like, who is this now? That could be the new batter. We're trying to pick that up for you. Is that Kishon? tall, lanky figure. It's 90 for the loss of 4 now in over number 15. We've been accused of not giving the score as often enough. I'm not quite sure about that. I think we've been given the score
Oh, yes.
pretty often, as we do in this one day.
Those persons live in
and
somewhere else.
T20 matches, but it's what it is. It's 90 for the loss of 4. And we're here at the Ronald Webster Park for cricket, lovely cricket. Spartans against the Foreign Stars. Foreign Stars chasing 125 for victory. As Ramraj comes in now and bowls to the new batter, Sambo, he comes onto the front foot, plays it into the offside. Who's the new batter? The new batter, we are not quite sure, but we'll get that for you. Harris is still there, he's got 20. As Ramraj comes in once more from that far end. He's up to the wicket now, and he comes and hits this one in the air over the head of the man at extra cover. They should get 1, they should get 2 quite easily. They're coming back for it. Throw comes into the bowlers, and it's a good one. And 2 runs there to the new batter. 92 it is now for the loss of 4 in over number 15. So Ramraj getting a wicket at last. The prize scalp of Ashley White, who went for a well-played 19, playing across and being a judge LBW. We thought here in the box that...
How can a keeper fix a helmet with his glove on?
Quite comical indeed, Frankie. Ramraj around the wicket now. Right up, comes in, bowls to the new batter who dries. Back up along the pitch, and Ramraj feeds to his own bowling. And that will complete over number 15. 15 overs completed. It's 4 down for 92. The last one going being the captain of the Foreign Stars, Ashley White, gone for 19, when the score was on 90.
They're on the stream, and if they can get another big over now in another 1 or 2, in the next 2 overs, get a 10 to 15 runs, 10 to 12 runs, 8 to 12 runs, they would be putting back the pressure on the fielding team. But in the meantime, they've got to play sensible cricket if they want to take this match away.
The captain is still with the ball. That's Kenroy David of the GA Spartans. And he'll be bowling to Harris. Harris who bowled very well today, Frankie. We saw for the first time, we saw some spinner really tweaking and turning. The score they're asking for, it's 92. 92. 92. 92. 92. 92 for the loss of 4. This is the start of over number 16. And it will be bowled by Kenroy David. Number 12 on the back. We're trying to pick up the batter here. Keyshawn Charles. Yes, I know it was a Keyshawn. Keyshawn Charles. Yes, I did say it was Keyshawn, but I was mixing it up. Keyshawn Charles is the new batter. Here's David now into the batter. Harris who drives this one straight to the man at long on, and he's gone. Harris giving away his knock here, Frankie. Batting so well.
Come straight.
And just driving straight down to the man at long on. Had he hit it straight down the ground, over the bowler's head.
Here.
And another wicket goes down.
You come straight. Keep your
20
bat
he made,
open.
Harris. It's now 92
Batting
for the
so
loss of 5.
well, and I gave it away.
16. Frankie is not happy at all.
No. And that's the kind of cricket we see in the Caribbean. We need to get more serious and put a cost on our wicket. You have to put a price on your wicket.
The man long on just had to take 2 steps forward and just cop it, and that was the end of young Harris.
If he wants it, let him run for it. But he put it straight in his hand.
And he's been given some tongue lashing and lipping here, quite a bit of lipping from his fellow St. Martiners. He's from St. Martin, plays over there as well. He's very familiar with the Spartan players, and I noticed they were giving him quite a bit of tongue lashing as he came off, and the appeal earlier for an LBW which wasn't given, so they're probably very much happy that he's gone. So who's the new man? Who is the new batter? We have Keyshawn Charles, who's up there. He's the non-striker. And it looks like Shiv Benjamin, yes, looking at it from the side. Shiv Benjamin is the new batter. It's 92 for the loss of 5. This is over number 16 in progress. 125 is the target. As Kenroy David goes in now and bows to Shiv Benjamin outside the line of the off stump, and he swings powerfully to the man at mid-on who goes down and stops it. That should have made better use of that one.
One bounce to
Yep.
What are they thinking?
Shiv Benjamin
That ball should have been played through the
through
outside.
the offside. Instead he tugged it from off, way outside the off stump. Kenroy David now. Bowling off spinners from the commentary box end. Into Shiv Benjamin, swings this one down to a backward of square. That's
no
4
real
runs.
swing.
It was short, it was going down the onside, and he got into his wicket and just swiveled and swung it down to back of the square for 4 runs. Great
No.
shot, Frankie.
He capitalized upon that. Nice shot. Just,
96 now for the loss of 5.
pulled it around beautifully into that backward square area.
Lovely stroke there by Shiv Benjamin.
I
Swiveled
think he
nicely.
should have had 2 fours.
He should have.
A cut shot right through cover, square cover, and then that pull.
He really should have. Charles has got how many, Tony? 2 or 3? Charles is 2-4 to Benjamin. So the man down on that deep backward square boundary, right back on the rope. Mid-wicket, right back.
They're
wide.
still bringing him forward of square. I don't understand this
Forward
field
of square.
setting.
Now they're bringing him forward.
It's where he
Long
was.
on, long off.
He wanted to stay full square, but they brought him forward. The
Shiv.
bowler telling him to come. Oh,
To the
man.
front foot. And no
All
run
you
played
have to
into
do,
the
put him
onside.
backward square, shift your mid-wicket. Put him in the correct mid-wicket position,
Bring in the
and then you
orthodox
leave your
mid-wicket.
long on where
And
it
the
is.
long on where it is. This one is short. He goes back and looking to stay this back of the square in the offside. Misses the ball into the gloves of the keeper. It's 96 for the loss of 5. This Foreign Stars going at a target of 125 against the GA Spartans. David into Shiv Benjamin, who comes onto the front foot, comes off the outside edge, goes down to short third man for a run. He'll keep the bowling. Shiv Benjamin is on 5, and it's 97 now. 97 for the loss of 5, Frankie, after 16 overs.
They still need a big over. Either this one or the next one to ensure that they put themselves in a proper position.
So
You're 30 away.
4 overs, 30 away. 4 overs, anything can happen. And you've got to, 5 wickets in the bag.
Yeah. You need to go at it.
And Keyshawn Charles, who's 2, Shiv Benjamin with him on 5. Benjamin will keep the bowling. The field pretty widespread now, as you would anticipate and expect at this stage of the game. 125 is the target. The wind picks up, coming from the northeast, coming over our shoulder here in the northern end of the ground. 1 or 2 more spectators just coming into the ground. Some children on the western side playing in the stand there, running up and down the stand, having some fun, getting some much needed exercise as well. It's going to be Ramraj to continue from the far end of the ground. Ramraj, who got the wicket of Ashley White in his last over. Here he is now bowling to Shiv Benjamin, who drives this one out to past the man at short mid-wicket. Man on the wide long on boundary comes off and keeps it down to a single. It's 98 now. 98 for the loss of 5. This is over number 17 in progress. The field moving across to accommodate the left-right combination. Keyshawn Charles, left-handed batter. Now we're seeing a man going right back on the square leg boundary. Samuel Theodore comes in to replace Frankie Claxton, who's taking a break. So there's a long off, long on. Man right out on the deep mid-wicket boundary. There's a man out on the deep square leg boundary. Short third man, cover, extra cover. This one is played uppishly to the right of the bowler, following through to his left. Long on comes into play. Easy single taken by Charles. Takes him to 3, and it's now 99. 99, 1 away from the century mark. The target is 125 for the Foreign Stars if they're to win this encounter against the General Otto Spartans out of St. Martin. Started out as a development team in 2001, and they've blossomed, and this one is played but straight to the man at short extra cover, and there is no run. So starting out in 2001, they've won the championship in St. Martin. The Spartans, a very good team, Number of good players, some of whom have represented the Leos, as this one is tossed up and is driven in the air. But straight to the man at wide long off. Easy single taken there by Shiv Benjamin. Benjamin goes to 6. And the 100 has just been posted. It's exactly 100 for the loss of 5. 7 to Benjamin. Yes, Benjamin is 7. And the 100 has just been posted. This one he swings at and he's hit on the pad. Is an appeal, vociferously so, by Ramraj. The umpire says that one is outside. It struck him outside of the line based on the indication of his right arm. Just indicating that that one was pitching outside and hitting outside. So looking to hit across the line instead of hitting through the offside field. There are lots of gaps in the offside. Ramraj is in now. This one is onto the front foot. He comes. Bowler knocks it down. And there is no run. Benjamin 7, Charles 3. 100 for the loss of 5. The Foreign Stars at the end of over number 17.
Yes, still 3 overs to get 25. It's gettable at 8 runs and over. Just pick the scores, pick the gaps, and keep ticking over. But we see them trying to hit the balls into the boundary, which sometimes is not useful. Sometimes it is more useful to pick the gaps and run 1 and 2s.
So we have another match coming up right after this one. And we've got the big football game behind us. That should be getting on the way a little later on this afternoon, involving a team from St. Martin. So quite a bit of football action, good sporting action. Cricket here at the Ronald Webster Park and at the Raymond E. Gishard Football Stadium. There's a football action.
The bowler is Belazar.
Belazar, who started the attack from the south, the Central Polyclinic end, when the Foreign Stars came out to bat earlier, has now been switched to the commentary box end. The man right out on the right back on the backward square boundary, mid-wicket, traditional mid-wicket, right back on the rope as well. Wide long on, long off, right back on the rope as well. Sweep on the deep cover boundary. Belazar goes in now. Goes to Shiv Benjamin, who slams this to the offside field. This is to go into the boundary. That's 4 runs. That's a lovely stroke all along the ground, just slamming it past the man at extra cover. The man from wide long off running for all his worth, only to pick the ball up, as that one went like a tracer bullet across this patch out to the field and into the ropes for 4 runs. 104 it is now for the loss of 5 wickets. The Foreign Stars, the target, I need to keep reminding you, is 125.
Yes, it was a beautiful stroke indeed. He just leaned into it. It was there for hitting, and it went all along the ground into the boundary for 4 runs. A beautiful stroke it was. Very beautiful indeed.
104 for the loss of 5. Benjamin goes to 11. 3 to Kishan Charles. Little minor changes made in the offside field, not too much. As Shiv Benjamin looks around the field. Here is Belazar once more. Right arm over the wicket to Shiv Benjamin. Advances and drives to the man at long on. They want 2. Charles wanted 2. He's remonstrating now. The ball, in fact, thrown in and hits the umpire. And they're running. The umpire signaling no. Ball hit. Umpire signal a dead ball. Ball hitting the umpire, hitting his left boot, Keith Lee Lake. Trying to get out of the way, but instead got into the way. So it's 105, Tony. 105 for the loss of 5. This is over number 18. And it's been bowled by Belazar. So this could come into for a close finish. Game could still be won, Sambo.
Yes, it's gettable indeed.
Yep.
But I want to find out what is the significance of 824.
Yes, 824. Well, you'll find that out later. This one is carried up and hit in the air to the man out in that deep cover boundary. They go for 1. They're turned back. That easily should have been 2 runs. Should have been 2. This is not good cricket. 106 for 5. That should have been 2. Ball traveled a long way. He had to stop it and throw it back in. Take the throw. Take the extra run on the throw coming in. So it's 4 now to Kishan Charles. Benjamin plays at this one, misses the ball. There's a loud appeal from Belazar only. Keeper coming on the onside took it. No one else appealed. But Belazar, 106 for the loss of 5. Over number 18. Belazar goes in and bows this one. It's lifted in the air. Someone will get under this. It's Duran who takes the catch. And the batter in Shiv Benjamin goes trying to hit that over the top, Sambo. Nowhere near that stroke. Didn't get to the pitch. And that could have only gone one way, and that was up. It did. And Duran coming off the boundary, using those long levers, sprinting in, taking a simple catch at mid-on.
You see, as I've already said, there was no need for that. Work the ball around and run twos. But he decided to go the aerial route, and he was brilliantly caught here on the boundary. Wasim Mentos is the new batsman.
So Wasim Mentos goes
Kate,
out.
we only had 15 aircrafts today.
15?
Yeah, 15 aircrafts.
Very good, Sambo.
This is our 15th aircraft.
Keeping count of the aircraft movements at the Clayton Dejoy International. It's 106 now for the loss of 6. The foreign stars, they need to get 125. And it's seeming more and more
difficult.
difficult. Seems like it's a long way from that target now of 125. But cricket, it's cricket. It's not over till it's over. Wasim Mentos can hit, and he can hit big. If he connects a few lofty blows here, it could change things dramatically. And he's that kind of an enterprising cricketer. Mentos, the new batter, outer partner, Keyshawn Charles. Charles is 4, the man going moments ago. Shiv Benjamin caught at long mid-on of the bowling of Belazar for 11. 106 for 6. Mentos takes guard from umpire Lake, Keithley Lake. As Belazar goes in, bows to Mentos, and Mentos swings this one out to the man at mid-wicket. This will land safe. They should get a couple of runs. In fact, it goes across the line, and that's 4 runs. So Duran running away to his right. The man from mid-wicket was coming to his left. They almost clashed. Ball just bounced off his hand and went across the rope. So Mentos gets off the mark with a lofty blow. 4 runs. It's 110 now. 110 at the end of over number 18, Sambo. 110 for 6.
You see, both players were converging on that ball, and it bisected just and trickled just in between both of them while they were about to clash. It was a good stroke by Wasim Mentos. A little more, and it would be over the boundary for 6 runs.
So we need what? 15?
15 more
15
runs.
runs, and we've got 12 legitimate balls. So
it's gettable.
15 balls, 15 runs, 12 balls. Can be done, can be achieved.
So what about West Indies, Kit?
I really don't have anything else to say about my former team. I really want.
See, right now I watch Pakistan and
I've been watching Australia. Australia has been the team that I've been backing over the last few years. I have to say this openly. I've been backing Australia, and I like Manus Labuschagne. It's over number 19 about to start, and it's going to be Ramraj. 110 for 6. He's in now, bowls this one to Kishan, who attempts to swing it over mid-wicket. The ball took it on the pad, and it ricocheted into the offside field, and there is no run.
There goes another one.
And that is number what, Sambo?
16.
Number 16, according to his count. Here's Ramraj now. He'll be bowling now to Kishan. Loops up, and Kishan goes down, lifts this one over the head of extra cover. That's 4 runs. That's a good stroke, Sambo.
Yes, a beautiful stroke by Kishan. He just leant into it and went over cover, inside out, into the boundary for 4 runs.
114
Getting closer
it is.
to the target.
114 for 6. We're into over number 19. Dancing down to that second delivery. And depositing it over the head of the man at extra cover. And that's 4 runs. Signal coming from the umpire. Be just acknowledging here in the box. It's 114. 11 runs to get for the foreign stars if they're to win this contest. Still got an over. And how many balls, Tony?
4.
Okay, so we got what?
10
balls. 114 to get 11 runs. So it's still winnable. As Ramraj comes in now and bows this one, played nice into the offside field, and they run through for a single misfield, comes into the keeper's end, and Mentos makes it. Bad work there by the man in that cover point area. They're remonstrating, they're not happy. One more to Keyshawn. Keyshawn has gone now to what, Tony, is it? I've lost count here. 9, yes. And Mentos is on 4. It's 115 now. 115 for the loss of 6 in this over number 19. So 1 over to go after this. Mentos is on strike. And I'm going to tell you now, Sambo, that Mentos is going to go down fighting. Huh? He's that kind of cricketer.
Yes, he will go down swinging.
He's going to swing.
And he will swing for the fence.
And he's a big man. Big, broad shoulders, strong. And if he connects, it will go the distance. And he's beaten by a beauty outside the line of the off stump. Driving at one, and it just flashed past the outside edge. The keeper had the bails off in a flash. But Mentos was firmly grounded. Over number 19, 115 the score is for the loss of 6. As Ramraj from the far end comes in, loops this one up to Mentos, and Mentos swings at this one, comes off the bottom portion of the bat. He missed out on that one, thought he had that into the mid-wicket gap. So Mentos just has to be played smart, just have to choose which delivery he's going to go at. Keep his eye on the ball and just pick the right delivery and pick his spot. This one is looped up, and Mentos hits this one high. This one is gone for 6. Gone for 6. The umpire is waiting to give the signal. Yes, it comes. It's by way of a 6. So it's 121 is the score now, Sambo. Mentos dancing into that one and hoisting this high over mid-wicket. The fieldsman was right back on the rope, hit his hand and just ricocheted over the rope, and hence 6 runs resulted.
You see, Mentos is a very strong lad here, and he leant into this one and dispatched it for 6 runs. So 4 runs to get in 1 over.
So 4 runs as we come to the final over. 121 it is for the loss of 6 wickets. Foreign Stars need 4 runs for victory. And this is the final over. I imagine that now we'll get, it's 121. 121. And this is the final over coming up. 121 for 6. And is it going to be Young David? Yes, Young David.
Yes.
Young David is going to bowl the final over. So he's been entrusted with bowling the final over. Is it going to be David? I don't think so. I saw him marking out his run now. But no, it's going to be Belazar is going to bowl it, it seems like.
Yes,
Belazar. For a moment we thought it was Young David. So 10 to Wasim Mentos, 9 to Keyshawn Charles, 121 for 6. 4 runs needed, 6 balls, legitimate balls that is. And it's going to be Keyshawn Charles who's on strike. He's got 9, Mentos 10. 121 for the loss of 6. Foreign Stars need 4 runs for victory. This one is turned down to back on the square. They should get a couple of runs here and may even go into the boundary. It's going close to the rope. It does. And it's 4 runs and it's game. It's game here for the Foreign Stars. That one swept very nicely by Keyshawn Charles down to back of the square. And it went into the rope for 4 runs. So victory by 4 wickets here for the Foreign Stars against the GS Spartans of St. Martin. And well-deserved victory here for the Foreign Stars. Certainly played well in the end here.
Yes, it is a very good victory indeed. They deserve that victory. But all along, they are playing without fine leg today. And I'm trying to find out why there isn't a fine leg in.
Such a critical position. No fine leg, and we've noticed that. Frankie Claxton commented quite a bit about that as well, as did Doc Bryan. He also commented about you two as well, Sambo. So victory here by 4 wickets.
By 4 wickets.
For the Foreign Stars against the Spartans. And a good victory indeed. And I know Captain Ashley White and the boys will be very, very happy indeed, Sambo.
Yes, they will be very happy of that victory. Because sometimes they need to get it together, the Foreign Stars. They have a lot of potential in Ashley White, Shiv, Ashby, Mentos, Harris, Charles, good batters in there, and they just get a good start and then throw it out.
So it's good to see the players all shaking hands. Good sportsmanship been displayed. Good game all around. Firstly, we had the Spartans winning the toss, I thought, and batted, and they got to 124 for 5 of their 20 overs. With Rondell Langville 42, 31 for Akim Charles. They got to 62 for 1, really. And then they were pegged back by some great spin bowling coming from Harris. Harris finishing with 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets, and conceded just 6 runs. And then Mentos, the other left-arm spinner, 4 overs and took 2 for 15. So the spinners really broke the back of the Spartans towards the middle and the back end of their innings. And then we saw the Foreign Stars going out and off to a good start, getting to 37 before Cyril went. Then we had Dion Burton got to 25, 42 for 2. And then they lost Ashley White. They were set back at 90. They too were also pegged back. And then towards the end, we saw Wasim Mentos, Ashiv Benjamin, and Kishan Charles steadying the ship after a good knock of 20 from Harris and taking them over the rope here, winning by 4 wickets. So good win to the Foreign Stars in a game well played here against the GA Spartans out of St. Martin. So we'll be standing by for game number 2, which will be coming up shortly.
Yes, it's the Masters versus Revolution, and the umpires Ralph Hodge and Morton. They'll be umpiring the second game. But we see the spinners doing. But we see the spinners doing a very good job indeed.
Yes, the spinners certainly coming into their own. And as I said, I like what I saw from Harris. He bowled exceptionally well. He's one of the first spinners I've seen this season really turn the ball. I haven't seen the ball, a spinner tweaking that much on this particular track. This is season number 3. I didn't see it in season 1 from any of the spinners. Didn't see it in season 2 from any of the spinners. And up to today, Harris is the only one I've seen that really turned.
Yes.
I've seen the ball, and you could actually see his fingers tweaking, turning. And when the ball lands and hits the pitch, you can see the ball hitting and spinning. Not just drifting away with the drifters being his natural left arm, but turning.
Swing.
Turn. He hits the turf and you see the ball deviating in that direction. Then he used his arm ball very, very nicely. So we're getting ready for game number 2, Sambo.
Yeah, we see Wasim Mentos.
Wasim Mentos also bowled very well.
One of the arm ball that went for 4 byes.
And then came back in the end here and took it home.
Yeah,
took
beat the batsman, beat the keeper, beat everybody and went into the boundary.
So good
but
game.
the lefties are very good. Very good indeed.
Yeah, they've been bowling well. The spinners have certainly done the bulk of the work here for all the teams. Have relied on their spinners. Because it seems as though once it's slow, our batters can't seem to play it when it's slow. Give them the medium pace and the pace, they will hit you all over the ground. You just slow it down a bit. Just keep it slow and float it a bit. That the eye line the eyes have to just go up, and it's problems. And we've seen it even at the West Indies level. You just need to throw it up and slow it down. And bam, it's a problem. It is a problem. It's certainly a problem.
You see, I would like them to, that's my belief, my opinion, to demote West Indies as a test team.
Well, that has been suggested. I think one of the I've read something from one of the former Indian players saying that West Indies should go the